Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to be back here in Great Neck tonight. And we will speak about personality, which means what is the proper personality that a religious Jewish person has to have in order for him to be considered in Shamayim like he's a tzaddik. Why personality make a person tzaddik or rasha? Because that's the most important thing in life. You may say it's important to learn Torah, it's important to put tefillin, it's important to eat kosher, it's important to give tzedakah. Of course, everything is important. But people forget the main thing. The whole reason that Hashem gave us this Torah, it's to train us to be decent people, which means to fix our bad midot. Everyone comes to the world with negative things. In a period of time that he lives in this world, he has to make sure that in the time of his death, he got rid of all the negative midot that he came to the world with. Which means, if he's naturally an angry person, he cannot die angry. If he die angry and he knows a lot of Torah, that makes the situation worse for him. Why? The whole Torah was to make you a calm person, not an angry wolf. If you learn Torah all your life, you participate in lecture, and you're still an angry person, that means you did not cure yourself. And then if a person is very stingy, doesn't like to share, doesn't like to help, doesn't want to give, doesn't want to do anything for others, egoistic, then he did not fix his mental sickness. All the bad midot, all the bad traits of a person, that's what we really call mental sicknesses. If you ask today a person, tell me, what is considered a mentally ill person? So he's going to tell you a person, schizophrenia, person who has fears, anxiety attacks, pressure, all kinds of, he speaks to himself, he talks to himself, he makes faces, he's not responsible, he doesn't know to tell the difference between money and papers. There's a lot of all kinds of symptoms. There's some kinds of mental illnesses that a person has to do the same thing 300 times. 300 times. Like if he goes to the mikveh, he goes in, he comes out, he begins to dry his body, then he needs to do it again. No, I didn't do it good. So he do it again, he comes out, he do it all day. If no one will drag him out of the mikveh, from the morning to night, he goes in and out, everything like this. I know people like this. They have to do the same thing hundreds of times. Also, if they come to pray, they say, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, they're not happy. They do it again. They repeat the same word so many times. That's a mental illness. So, okay, that's obvious. A person that has this kind of problem, we know that he's mentally ill. But when you tell a person, did you know that if a person is an angry person, is mentally ill, they would laugh at you. No, that's his personality. That doesn't make him a sick person. But according to the Torah, if a person has negative traits, that's a sign that he's mentally ill. No medication will help him. Yeah, he can take medication, the medication would calm him down, but that's not the purpose. The Torah, it's the real medication for the Yetzer Hara. If a person is connected to the Torah, eventually it should get rid of his anger, he should get rid of his pride, he should get rid of his ego, he should get rid of his jealousy, he should get rid of modesty issues that he has. Everyone has problems. Now also, we cannot compare between the test of one Jew to the test of another Jew. Even the Goyim has a test. The Goyim also have 7 laws to keep. The Goyim really, in today's generation, they have a serious problem. Why? Because a Goy that wants to live according to his purpose, he is unable to. Unless if he discovers Judaism. If he is not aware of Judaism, let's say a Goy somewhere in Zimbabwe or in Europe, he decides, he thinks, well, God put me here, I have a purpose, I want to be a righteous Goy. He doesn't really know, because Christianity is false, Islam is false, Hinduism is false, Buddhism is false, all the cult is waste of time. He doesn't really have a way. And let's say he doesn't recognize these languages. He just wants between him and his Creator, he wants to be righteous, he doesn't know how. Most of the Goyim, they never heard of the term 7 laws of Noach. They're not aware of the 7 laws they have to keep. And even those who are aware of it, let's say they heard about it, and they keep the 7 laws, there's many, many more other laws who comes out of these 7. For instance, you should love your God and respect Him and never curse Him, but it spreads to many other things. The Goyim have no direction. They have no guideline. The only way the Goyim can be righteous if they find people like me or other speakers. They go on the internet, they begin to listen, and then they learn their purpose in life. Or that they have the Torah in their language, and they read the Torah for thousands of hours, and eventually they get the point what a Goy has to do in the world. But we are lucky. Why? We're different than the Goyim, because by the Goyim there's a cut. From the time of Noah until today, the Goyim of the time of Noah and the Goyim of the time of today, it's 2 different things. They don't have tradition. We have tradition. I know what my father was practicing. He knows what his father was practicing. We go for thousands of years. The same Torah is the same Torah. Judaism is the same Judaism. Same Shulchan Aruch, same Sefer Hamidot, same Mesilat Yesharim, same Rambam, all over the world, different languages. People in Europe, people in the Middle East, in Africa, everywhere you go, it's the same Torah. We don't have 2 different Torahs. The same Torah, the Torah always taught us how to live. The problem is, we have the Torah, we have the rabbis to teach the Torah, but the people are ignorant. They're not learning Torah. They have everything. They have everything in their hand, but they're not opening the Torah. Or even if they have the Torah, and they open the Torah, they don't understand the priorities in life. Most of the religious people, they put all their efforts in nonsense. And what's really important, they hardly touch their entire life. You see, a religious person goes to Minyan 3 times a day, keeps Shabbat, everything looks okay. But in reality, the most important thing that Hashem expects him to do, he doesn't touch. Let me give you examples of what I mean. Every person, every Jew that is extremely wealthy, we're not talking a person who makes a nice living and lives comfortable. I'm talking really wealthy, hundreds of millions, billions, this kind of people. How many of them, I'm talking the religious people, the ones who are not religious, what do you expect from them? They don't know what they live for. I'm saying the ones who are religious. He goes to Shurim, he keeps Shabbat, he learns Daf Yomi, whatever. How many of them understand that the main reason why Hashem gave them all this wealth is that they have to invest this wealth to help the Jewish nation to become closer to Hashem? There is no reason whatsoever that Hashem gives a person wealth unless if it's for spiritual causes. If a person thinks that Hashem gave me $500 million to buy another yacht and another building and another vacation house and lots of jewelry and all kinds of sports car, he's dreaming. That's not the purpose of the money. The Goyim thinks like this. Jew has no permission to think like this. A Jew has to know, I have to live comfortable, fine. I have to give my wife normal, comfortable, easy life as much as I can, fine. I want to help my children, I want to help them to learn, help them to have a place, help them to have parnasa, everything is fine. But after all that, still have $1 billion left. Why God gave it to me? To keep it in Switzerland? Until the day I die, it's a very big mistake. The people who kept all their wealth and one day they die, they are the most miserable people when they come in front of Hashem. Even more than the Chilonim. More than a Chiloni that grew in a kibbutz, they're going to suffer more, even if they kept all the mitzvot. But they did not take advantage on the wealth that Hashem gave them, they'll kill themselves. Why? Because when Hashem will show them what could have been done with their money, how much billions of mitzvot they could have created every month for themselves. Because everyone who keep mitzvot thanks to their money, it would go to their account first. And then the person who does it. And if they see how many hundreds of billions of mitzvot they could have gained with this money who went to the garbage anyway in the end, they'll kill themselves. So, wow, I had it in my hand and I did not use it. I was hiding it all the time. Just to give you one example. I got a phone call from a woman. She called me up. She said, I want to buy mezuzot from you for a relative of mine. Someone, you know what, I'll say, it's her brother. For my brother. So I say, how many? She said, 20 mezuzot. So I said, well, if she told me 1 or 2, then I would assume maybe they found that 1 or 2 is not kosher, so I want to replace it. 20, so that means until now he didn't have mezuzot. And this is a very religious woman. So I was curious. I asked her, what, you never had mezuzot until now? She said, no. But now he finally agreed to put mezuzot. So I said, what happened? Right away I thought cancer. I already have experience. Cancer comes, people become religious, unfortunately. So I said, what happened? He's sick? She said, no, maybe worse. I said, what worse? She said, the American IRS came into his office with batches in the middle of the day and put handcuffs on him in front of all his employees, and they arrested him, and now they found out that he hid in an offshore bank $50 million in cash. No one knew. We didn't know that our brother is so rich. We never knew. He was hiding all that, pretending he's a simple person. He didn't want anyone to come to him for help. So he was hiding for 30 or 40 years all his wealth. That's what he had in one bank. He probably has much more money in different places. So they took all the money away. They won't see this money, and now he's going to face 20 years in prison. That's happened to thousands of Jews as we speak. Thousands, here in America, in Europe, in Israel, everywhere. Because they got the list of all the Jews who hid money in Switzerland. The American IRS, they forced the Swiss bank to give the list. 90% of them are Jews. And most of them are religious Jews. Diamond dealer, real estate, all kinds of people like this. Why Hashem is doing it? Nothing is coincidence. There's no American IRS doesn't exist. FBI doesn't exist. It's all an illusion. They are tools in the hand of Hashem. Up to now, Hashem was waiting. Maybe all these Jews would wake up and take out their money and save souls. When he see that they're greedy, they only care about their stomach, they don't care about anybody else, he said, okay, you don't do what I want you to do, why should I keep the money by you? He clean them from all the money. So what I'm saying to you is, like, when a person dies and he finds out what he could have done with his money, he'll go crazy. When a person dies and he finds out what he could have done with his brain, not everyone has the same brain. So you have one Jew, his brain is 80% blocked, can hardly understand anything. So that's a stupid person. What can he do? Hashem made him limited in his brain. Then you have a person is completely genius, bright since very young age. Everything he catch right away. He understand one thing from another. His brain is like a sharp computer. But he never used his brain for Torah. Only for nonsense. Want to be a doctor, want to be a lawyer, want to be this, want to be that. All his life he put what Hashem gave him for nonsense. And in reality, one day he dies, and Hashem said to him, you should have been Rabbi Ovadia Yosef. You should have been Rav Eliashiv. And look what you became. A stupid monkey that has nothing in your life. No knowledge, no wisdom, no righteousness, no nothing. Divorced 5 times, all kinds of problems. Why is it? Because you use the brain that I gave you. Maybe you keep the door open that it won't continue. So what happened is you use the brain that I gave you only for nonsense. So now you are, like we say in Hebrew, you are bold from both sides. Kereach mishnei tzdadim. Why does it mean? You don't have the knowledge that you can have gained, and you don't have Torah. You don't have Torah, and in the end, what did you use the knowledge that I gave you for? Okay, so now let's organize so far what I've said. What I've said is like this. Most of the religious people, they are not focusing on their main purpose of their life. For instance, how many of you knew before you came to this lecture tonight, how many of you knew before you came to the lecture here tonight that the most important thing in your life is to work on the negative personality, each one of his problems? Someone who is angry has to focus on this. Someone that is angry and stingy has to focus on both of them. Someone who is a jealous person, that means I'm not religious. I cannot be religious and jealous at the same time. Cannot be. Because a religious person means you have emunah in Hashem. There's no religion without emunah, without faith. So a person that's jealous with what other people have, that means he doesn't have faith in Hashem. It cannot be two things that contradict each other. You cannot be black and white at the same time. You're either a black person or you're a white person. It's not both. It cannot be half and half. It doesn't work that way. If you are jealous, that means you don't believe in Hashem. You understand? If you have problems with modesty, you cannot say, I'm a righteous woman. It cannot be. Why? because I have a serious problem. What is my problem? I am focusing on my body. I'm interested to show it on the streets, in the weddings, in the parties, and that's the opposite of being righteous. Being righteous means being modest, like my grandmother was in Iran. She never dared to show her legs and to go with heels like this. My grandmother, for $1 billion, wouldn't do it. My grandmother was righteous, and I am wicked, and the truth hurts. And now, how do I fix it? That's the right approach. To comfort ourselves and say, no, I'm also good, but I'm doing this, but I'm doing that, I'm doing chesed, I cook for the yeshiva. If you're going to find excuses why you are good, you'll never progress, never. Because the Satan will always show you you are the most righteous woman in New York. That's not the way to progress. In money, a person that already has 10 million, he doesn't think I have 10 and nobody has even half of it. He looks at the people who have 100. That's where he want to get. And when he gets 100, he wants to get to $1 billion. And when he has $1 billion, he wants to be Bill Gates. Imagine if everyone would see, oh, look at these poor people, they hardly pay for bread in a supermarket. Wow, I'm very lucky. He will never progress. There's no anxiety to make money. Why? I'm the best here. But when it comes to money and immediate success, supposedly, everyone is always looking, how can I improve? When it comes to the most important thing, everyone is comfort himself with what I already have. That's the wrong way. It should be the other way around. The other way around, which means I have to see what's the negative in me. Also, Chazal say, a smart person should never agree to get compliments from people. Most people want people to admire them and to give them compliments. Right? Most people want compliments. When someone comes and tells you the truth about yourself, right away you mark him as your enemy. But the right way is, if a person that you know has nothing personal against you, and he comes and he makes a comment about the way you dress, or about certain words that you use, or where you're sending your kids to school, or certain things that you do wrong in general, not only you shouldn't be angry at them, you should understand that Hashem wanted you to know it. So why are you getting angry at the doctor who told you that you need this medication? The doctor wants your favor. He doesn't want anything against you. So a person should always love the people who are improving him, not telling him, you tzaddik, you great. You know, sometimes people come say to me, you know, I go to this synagogue, without using names, and you and this rabbi are completely two opposite. Listening to you, I always feel guilty, all the time. Listening to him, I feel like I'm the chief rabbi of the world. So I say to him, which doctor you want to treat your problem? If you have a life risk, you want a doctor to tell you you're okay, take 2 Advil and everything will be fine, and you want a doctor to tell you right away MRI, right away another expert, go to this Japanese expert, check blood, check this, check that, and in the end he tells you what to do, even if you need an open heart surgery, but he saves your life in the end. Or the one who told you, take 2 Advil, everything will be fine, and a month later you're dead. Which one you want? When it comes to immediate health, everyone understands. I have to do it the hard way. That's the only way. What do you want? People who tell you you're great? People who tell you, oh, you live with Christine? No problem. It's no problem. She's also a nice girl. I'm sure there's good things about it. Yeah, there are people like this. Believe it or not. Oh, you don't have tefillin? That's okay. One day maybe you'll get tefillin. Oh, you never gave tzedakah in your life? Okay, come give $5. You're not going to progress anywhere. That's really not it. So let's focus on what I say. We have to know to put a person has X amount of efforts that he can put. We are not supermen or superwomen. We have X amount of efforts. We have to put the efforts in what's the most important thing. Let's go with the right order on a Jewish woman. Jewish woman. What's the most important thing in the life of a Jewish woman? Most important thing, that she has to put all her energy in it until she fixes this 100%. What is it? Huh? Modesty. Everyone understand? Modesty. What's the next thing?
Family.
Next thing, if she's married, how to be the foundation of the house.
Family.
support the husband, support the children, push them towards Torah, towards Yiddishkeit, towards all kinds of positive things. The woman is the foundation of the house. If a woman goes with mini skirts and high heels, her girls will be worse than her, nothing better. But if she's extra modest, we hope, Bezrat Hashem, that the children will not be influenced by the street and they'll follow their mother path. But if the mother is not like that, there's no chance whatsoever. Maybe 1 to a billion by a miracle, it can happen. But overall, kids follow their parents. If the father is only in business, all he admires is rich people, all he admires who drives a nice car, his children will be worse than him. No Torah, no nothing will come out of them. Why? Because they grew up that in our mentality, wealth is important. Torah, it's also important, but no, it's not critical. That's why there was in Europe, there was one billionaire who was giving a lot of money to rabbis. And one time, one of the rabbis, I think it was Rav Elchanan Wasserman, Hashem Yikom Damo. It was in Europe before he got murdered in the Holocaust. So he came to the rich man's house. He had lived in a big mansion, and he had a lot of nice antique Persian rugs, and it was a snowy day. So you know, when the snow melts, the boots are full of snow, full of dirt. So instead of coming from the front door, he usually come once a month to collect money for his yeshiva, he came from the back door in the kitchen. So the kid came to call the father, Abba, the rabbi came from the back door. So he ran quickly downstairs. He said, what happened, Rabbi? Why you didn't come from the front door? He said, look at my legs. I'm full of mud and snow. I didn't want to ruin your rugs. So he told him, I'm very, very sorry. Please forgive me. Go again around and come from the front door and step on a rug on purpose. Why? I want the children to understand that I don't care about these rugs. Yeah, I made the house nice, pretty. The guests come, I give them good feeling. But I don't want them to think that the rugs is more important than the honor of the Torah. You have to come from the back door like a thief, you know? No, you come from the front door, and I want you to make the rug dirty. Make sure you make them dirty. That's chinuch for the children. When you sit in front of your children, never praise rich people. A person is rich only when he's dressed. A Talmid Chacham is Talmid Chacham whether he's dressed, whether he's not dressed. You understand? A person put a nice outfit. Most of the Americans, it's all a show-off. They lease fancy cars. Sometimes they don't have money to put gas in a car. You know? They live in big mansions. They're already 2 years behind the mortgage. They move to certain neighborhoods just because the rest of the family is over there, and they kill themselves paying the bills and borrowing and this until they die from heart attack just for the show-off. Why? Because they don't have emunah in Hashem. A person has to live with what Hashem gave him. Hashem gave you enough money barely to eat bread. That's how you have to live. You don't live more than your ability. You're not in a competition, not with your friends, not with your brother, not with anyone. We didn't come to this world to enjoy here. That's the common mistake. Everyone wants to enjoy here. Before you realize life here, the Chazal says it's like a blink of the eye. Up, and it's over. If a person has now 1 week as opposed to 1,000,000 years, he cares about the 1 week? I always like to give this story. A person wants to become a truck driver. So he needs to learn how to drive a truck. So he takes some lessons. Okay, now he knows how to drive. So now he has a road test. How long is the road test? 5 minutes. Drive, make a right, make a left, park, finished. 5 minutes. Now he comes on a truck, and he see the wheel is hard, no air condition, very hot day. The chair is not comfortable, no radio. So he comes, he said to the tester, I can't understand why I have to suffer like this sitting in this car. So he said to him, what do you care? It's only 5 minutes, and then you get your own license, and you get your truck as much as you want. Make your truck the way you like it. So we are here, the same thing here. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? We're going to be here 60, 70, 80, 90 years. Anyway, it's a blink of the eye. Then the soul comes out and will live for eternity. Who cares about 7 years compared to eternity? Why everyone is focusing so much? Everyone is focusing so much to improve their situation in this world. Why? Here, there's a chair right here. Why everyone cares so much about this world? Everyone runs after success over here, right? So everybody has to remember that the most important thing is, after we say modesty, Second thing, to be the foundation of the house, to wake up your husband in the morning to go to prayer, to make the children always focus on Torah, to always in front of the kids to speak about spiritual thing, never about materialistic thing. Don't give them the impression that in our environment, in our mentality, only someone who has money is important. The rest of the people are not important. That's the biggest crime you can do, the biggest. Because you decree on these children to die wicked. They'll never be righteous. Why? Because a person who loves money doesn't love Hashem. A person who loves materialism cannot love materialism and Hashem at the same time, which means if he loves materialism 50%, he loves Hashem 50%. If he loves materialism 80%, he loves Hashem 20%. There is no way to love materialism 100% and to love Hashem 100% because it's two contradictions. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is humble, simple, down to earth. He wants everyone to live comfortable but very simple life, no show off, no bragging, no jealousy, no ego, none of these things. Everything down to earth. So that's why Moshe Rabbeinu became the legendary leader, even though he was stuttering, he wasn't rich, it wasn't anything important. He was a shepherd cleaning the dirty bathroom of the sheep. But Hashem made him what he is. Why? Because he was humble. The Torah says, "V'aish Moshe anav mikol adam," because HaKadosh Baruch Hu loved humbled people. And when a person brag about his house, or he brag about his car, or brag about his watches and his diamonds and his wife's clothing and all kinds of things that he likes to brag about, that's a sign that he's very, very far from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Very far. Because he lives in a total lie, in a total denial. There's no way to love Hashem and the Torah and at the same time to love jewelry and to go after vacations and fancy life. There's no way. I know it hurts, but that's the truth. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu cannot stand this kind of lifestyle. He cannot stand these flashy weddings, $1 million wedding, $500,000 wedding, when half of his children are starving for bread, when these kids cannot afford yeshivot, so many sick people, so many families that are falling and collapsing, and this show of peacock, everywhere he go, he makes sure that everyone sees wealth, like a Hashverosh. He made a party 180 days for the whole world to come see his wealth. We are not a Hashverosh. We want to be close to Hashem. I know some wealthy people, even in this town, and they live very simple compared to the rest. They have more money than all of them, but they live very simple, but they help a lot of Torah. They help poor people, they help yeshivot, they open nets kolel, they open to make balei tshuva, they're sponsoring CDs, they do a lot of good things. Why? They smart. They knew Hashem put me here, I got to take advantage of what He gave me. He gave me wisdom, I have to be a good speaker, or I have to be a good rabbi, or I have to teach Torah, or I have to write books. He didn't give me wisdom, but He gave me money. I have to help those who have wisdom. He gave me whatever talent. I'm a genius in computer. I can make thousands of balei tshuva through my skills. You know, finding Jews, locating them, sending them links, arranging lecture, sending invitations, all kinds of things that a person can do. Everyone has a skill. A person is a big doctor. I know few doctors. One of them is the Persian Dr. Cohen in Queens. He's a very smart man. He's not the only dentist in the world, but he's a smart person. Why? He is a lover of Hashem. He believes in Hashem. He lives according to the Torah. And he knows that people who learn Torah don't have money because they're young people, they're not married, they're not working, they're sitting and learning Torah, 20, 21, especially the balei tshuva. They come to treat by him. He doesn't charge them money. Not only that, if they need a filling, I don't know how much a filling costs, but let's say it costs $200. And he goes to him and they say, I have pain, and he sees that they need fillings. He doesn't only do the filling and send them right away, because he obviously does it for free. He does the cleaning and whatever they need. Or you also have filling over here. You take extra. He will do 5 times more than what the person needs. Wow. Why? Because he knows I wanna have a share in the Torah of these guys. You understand?
Doesn't have to worry. You're gonna get everything.
Of course. And this is not 1 or 2 years. This is going on for about almost 15 years by now. Every person who ever need help that learns Torah, who comes to him, he did it for free for him with no problem. Never show any complaints or that he's upset that you showed up. And sometimes there's 10 people standing online that he makes money on them. and he's still going to take care of the patients for 2 hours for free and let them wait and leave. And he lose money. He doesn't care. And why? That's that smart person. Hashem gave you a skill. You're not a rabbi. What are you going to do? You're going to teach Torah? No, you can't. You're not a billionaire. What are you going to do? You're going to build yeshivot?
He's happy?
Very happy. Very happy. You know why? Because when you are like this, Hashem send you a wife that will appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah. The stingy people, Hashem send them a wife to suck their blood. A cheap person, Hashem will send him a wife that every little move she does burn his heart.
I heard that
understand?
Tzadikim has a really
Yeah.
tough woman that makes them more tzadikim.
Well, yeah, I got to tell you something. Someone who has a bad woman, the good thing about it, that it saves him from hell, the Torah say. The Torah say, one thing that saves a person from hell is Isha Ra'ah. The question is, what does it mean, Isha Ra'ah? Most of the guys who come to complain about their wife that she's bad, in reality, she's better than them. That's really the truth. Yeah.
So you were saying how this world is very temporary, whatever, and the next world is. Now, who says that the next world very very eternity?
The Torah said,
Where?
להטיב לך ולבניך עד עולם. להטיב לך ולבניך עד עולם.
Where's that?
To reward you and your children for eternity. It's a verse in the Torah. Or I'm testing you to see if you keep my mitzvot, that I should reward you in your end. להטיבך באחריתך. Who understand Hebrew here? Everyone. Right? מה זה להטיבך באחריתך? אחרית means סוף. להטיב לך, להטיבך, it's to reward you. I will reward you in your end if you keep my mitzvot, Hashem
The
say.
last day of your life, not the others. Nobody went there and came back.
Show me one old person that had a reward in the last year of his life. Everyone suffer more than ever before in the last year of their life.
Excuse me, Rabbi.
Yeah.
The two Persian guys, they got married in Israel.
Yes.
Persian.
Yeah.
The guy was 28 and the girl was 20.
Yeah.
They got married. The guy, he was all the time read Torah. He was sitting a little bit business. After 5 years, she got a divorce.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, read it. This is not money.
Okay.
Read it. This is not bread. This is not no stuff for home.
She wants only money.
I gotta tell you something. Like when
You have to do this.
many.
And you have to read Torah.
First of all, let me explain to you some of the problems in marriage. Most of the marriage has problems, most of them, because people have bad personality and they don't work on their character. But some of the marriages go bad because it wasn't meant to be to begin with. Which means, if I know I'm a person that every night I'm not home, and I give lecture and all day people are calling me and all day I'm busy and I travel, and if I know that if I'm going on a date to get married and the woman that's supposed to be my future wife, she wants me at home, she wants me to bring her flour every hour, she wants me to serve her tea to the bed, and all the kinds of the fancy schmancy prima donnas out there, I won't marry her because I know she's going to destroy me in a month, right? Who would I take? I'll take a woman that say to me, whatever you do, I'm with you. Ba'esh u'v'mayim. Wait, patience. I would not take a woman that marry me because she wants a fancy schmancy life. Why? I don't have time to give it to her. I'm not going to have time to go make deals, meet people. Even if I can, I don't have the time for it. So she knows what she gets. The problem is that sometimes a couple get married and they bought, at the time of the marriage, they bought losers. But after 5 years, one of them became a winner and the other one stay a loser. That's the problem. Both of them were addicted to materialism, love restaurants, vacations, clothing, jewelry. That's why they met. Hashem takes min b'mino. But after 5 years, one of them became a big tzaddik and is not the loser he used to be. Up to now, he wanted the phony life here. Now he became in a very high level and the wife cannot stand it. That's a problem. There's not that much of a solution for that. Sometimes you have to bring her up to your level or you have to get divorced. Divorce is a tragedy, but not all the time. Sometimes it's a very good thing for a person. Why? If he still can get divorced and get remarried and then have a much better life for the next 20 years, then it's a mitzvah. It's one of the 613 commandments to get a divorce when it doesn't work. But again, I say it now, that most of the divorce cases is not because they're not soulmates, not because it couldn't work, it's because people have high ego, temper, they are not with emunah, and they want to enjoy this world. And because of that, it creates problem. But if a person is knowing that this is a hallway to the life of eternity, if it's a hallway to the life of eternity, and a person is preparing from this world to the real world, then nobody cares. Nobody cares how the cabinets are and what kind of car it is, because they know it's all temporary. It's like the same parable that I gave with the tester, with the truck. Nobody cares in 5 minutes how the truck drives. It's only 5 minutes road test. I care what's going to be my own truck for the next 30 years. I don't care about the 5 minutes. There's no air condition. The chair is not comfortable. It's temporary. Something temporary, we shouldn't care. You know, many times in life, a person, like you want to buy a car. So you order the car, and we're supposed to get it tomorrow, and they call you and say there's 3 days delay. 3 days delay. So they give you a car that is not as good. It's very bad compared to this. Nobody makes a big deal, unless if he's really mentally sick. Nobody makes a big deal, because in 3 days I get my fancy car. Everything in life is like this. Once it's temporary, you don't care, because it's over before you realize. The problem here is people forget all the time that life is temporary. They forget. That's really one of the biggest cancer in our life. That we forget that before we realize we'll be over. Everyone wants to invest here, to do show off, decoration. I know a family. This is a family who are so wealthy that they gave Yeshiva University a check for $100 million. One check, donation. So imagine how much they have. But you should see their life. I mean, if everyone who thinks, wow, they have billions of dollars, they think, I wish I had half of them. But if a person see how these people live, and I got a little involved with one of their boys, you would really cry for them. The wealth is actually the main reason that it destroyed their life. They move from one mansion to another, they buy and they sell and they lose. People take advantage on them. There's so much mess in their life. Why is it? Because they are so empty spiritually that they don't know what to do anymore to bring them happiness. They try this, they try that. Yeah, nothing bring them happiness. They buy this building, they buy this mansion, they buy that, whatever they do, there's no happiness. And the more years are gone, they are more frustrated. And then they really, I always ask this question, what's better, to be a miserable rich or a miserable poor?
But the rich people can donate.
Wait.
The poor people, they can't.
Yeah, wait, but before. What, I ask a question, what's better, to be miserable rich or miserable poor?
No, this not that.
Huh?
Miserable poor.
Because you sleep good at night.
Miserable anyway.
No, I tell you why.
Something to hope for.
Most people answer miserable rich. You ask them why. He said, at least I can pay my bills. One thing is off my back, at least. Don't have to worry about the mortgage. Don't have to worry about my children's tuition.
He can fix himself by donation.
No, wait. You're mixing two different things. Donation doesn't make a person happy. Donation is a mitzvah. I'm talking everyday's life. Are you happy or not? So I'm saying, miserable rich, everyone think, at least I don't have the financial headache. So it's better to be miserable rich. What's better on top of it to be poor? Well, really, the truth is that the miserable poor is much better than miserable rich. Why? Because a person mentality, a person nature is to look forward to a future success. That gives him hope and energy. If a person doesn't have hope, he's collapsing. He needs a meaning in his life. I'm starting a process right now, knowing in 6 months I'm going to make $1 million. So the 6 months I'm happy, knowing I'm closer to my destination. If I knew in advance, after 2 days you come and say, there's we don't have money to pay you, right away you lose all your energy. So a miserable poor always think, even though it's a total mistake, he always think, when I make my first million, finally I'm going to be a happy person. That dream keeps him going for 30, 40 years. He's still hoping, I'm going to make $1 million, I'm going to make $1 million, I'm going to make $1 million, but he never made it. But the miserable rich, he's already made. And he's, wait, don't disturb me. No, wait. Please, no interference. There's too much interference here. Shh. It's a lecture, it's not a discussion. Discussion is one thing, a lecture is another thing. So miserable poor, miserable rich, what I say miserable rich, he now has wealth and he doesn't make him happy, right? So what's happening here? He said, okay, so what else would make me happy? That's why a lot of these Hollywood stars kill themselves. A lot of these musicians kill themselves. A lot of wealthy people commit suicide, and everyone is wondering why. What this person didn't have, right? And they don't have one moment of happiness because money does not bring happiness. They interviewed Bill Gates in Israel 4 years ago. He visited in Israel. So they had him on Prime News. So the woman asked him, Mr. Gates, you are the right person to ask this question. Does wealth bring happiness? You should see his reaction. Maybe you Google it, you find it. Bill Gates in Israel in an interview. What did he answer to her? He got angry almost from this question. He said, absolutely not. He said, absolutely not.
Is it for him to say?
Bill, no, wait. He said it brings it makes life more comfortable, but it does not bring happiness. This is a goy. So he said, when I'll die, I will only leave $10 million to each one of my children, which means he won't be able to buy a house here in Kings Point even. The son of Bill Gates. He comes, I need a mortgage. Say, Mr. Gates Jr., why you need a mortgage? What can I do? My father only left me $10 million. That's what he said in the interview. Why? He got already everything that everyone dreams, and it did not make me a better person or happier or anything like this. 10 million, it's enough for them to live. They live comfortable, but I don't want them to be billionaires. What did he do with all his money? Already 17 billion he gave out, tzedakah. And he convinced Warren Buffett to join the group, and he also gave billions to tzedakah. And then now they have a list of 60 people, 60 billionaires, who signed a document that before they'll die or before they're retired, they will give at least half of their wealth to tzedakah. Almost all of them goyim. Some Jews are there, but they got the idea without Torah. They're not religious, they're not coming to yeshiva. We read it every day. We hear about it every week. We have to do it because we know the truth. They did it with their own philosophy. Why? They're better than us? How can it be? So, going back to what I say, a woman, modesty, then the foundation of the house. Then she has to work on her personality. For instance, some people have no patience. What's the reason that a person doesn't have patience for others? Now I'm gonna say the sickness, and you will have to tell me what's the source of the sickness. Like if I say I caught a cold, so you would know that I was not dressed enough outside in the freezing weather, and I caught a cold, right? If a person has a virus, that means he got it from someone who had a virus, right? So now we know. We're gonna go one by one. If a person doesn't have patience for others, what's the source of the problem? Where does it come from?
Stress.
No. Very good. Pride. His nose is all the way up here. Who are these people to disturb me? Who are they to talk to me? Who are they that I waste my time on them? He doesn't have patience for people. Or, if they say something stupid, he thinks he's God, so he cannot stand them. Oh, you got on my nerve, I can stand you. This person is so stupid, this person is so foolish. Even to his own children, even to his own wife, he abuses her non-stop. That's a typical way of abuse. That the man thinks he's the smartest and his wife is stupid, and for that he destroys her mentally from morning to night. What does it come from? Gava. Next question. Anger. Every little thing, screaming, cursing, throwing things, closing doors, hanging the phone in people's face, leaving the house in the middle, breaking the meeting, in the traffic, cutting people, throwing things at them, all kinds of things. Yeah, there was one person, they showed me, someone sent me an email, that two goyim drive somewhere in the United States somewhere, and the first goy, which was a nerd, the first one, very nerdish goy, accidentally moved a little bit to the right, and the car, it got a little bit dangerous, but he moved right back to the lane. From that moment, the other crazy one, guy, was honking and going crazy, and he got nervous. But the nerd guy had a camera in his car. I don't know how he had a camera that was working. He made the camera work. You never saw such thing in your life. For an hour, he chased him. They go off the direction, go in a highway against traffic. He's fearing for his life. In the end, he finally caught him, and he's calling the police, and he tells them where I am, and you have no idea what's happening. In the end, he came out of the car, he blocked him, and he came to his windshield and started begging on the windshield and broke the windshield. He's only lucky that, the windshield is like a sandwich. It's not one glass, it's two, and there's a glue in between, glue. So when it breaks, it doesn't break in your face. Otherwise it would make him blind perhaps. It's banging, the entire piece collapsed, like one piece. Hard to believe. Why? He made a little cut. You see how far it can go, anger. If he had a gun, there's no question he would shoot him to death. There's no question. You have people in a subway that you looked at them, you just look at them, you look like this. He gets up, what are you looking at me? He's ready to kill you. What's going on here? Their anger went to such a high level that you see their mental sickness right away. What is it like? Some people speak to themselves once a month. They have like an attack. So you don't really realize it. Other than that, they're normal. Or they have bipolar. It catches them every few weeks or every few months. It's not every day. Some of the days they function okay. It's hard to tell. But some mental sicknesses you see right away. There's no way to hide. So the same thing with anger. Some people, usually they're not angry. Like they say in Israel, אני רק עצבני שמעצבנים אותי. I'm only angry when people get me angry. So the answer to these fools is, hey, do you know anyone who gets angry when you don't get him angry? That's already a lost case. Walks in the street and he gets angry. Why? He saw a tree. That's already, there's nothing to talk about. You get angry when people get you angry. The kids, the husband, the neighbor, someone stole your parking. You get angry. So anger, what's the source of anger?
You cannot control something.
Sometimes it's more than one source. Combining. What's the source? One, you say ga'ava, you're right. Anger is also ga'ava. But there's a better source.
People don't do what you want, under control of people. You want to control people and they don't do what
So
you
that's
want.
ga'ava. Control people, it's ga'ava. So that's the source. There's another source. What's the other source? Lack of faith in God. Don't believe that God runs the world. He looks, what just happened to me now, it's bad luck. It's this person's fault. It's the government's fault. It's my mother-in-law's fault. He doesn't understand this is all dolls in the hand of Hashem. It's Hashem sending you a smack. Wake up, you fool. What is this fault? It's his fault. It's her fault. It starts right in the beginning of the creation. The snake comes to Chava. She came to Adam. Hashem comes to Adam. Did you eat from the tree? What's his reaction? It's her fault. She gave me. And she blamed the snake. Everyone blames others. Yeah, of course it's her fault. But what about your responsibility? Nobody wants to see his responsibility, only who to blame. Okay, now stinginess. Person is egoistic, doesn't want to share, doesn't want to do for others, doesn't want to give donations, nothing. What's the source of it? Selfish is a part of the problem, but what's the source of it?
Sickness, הם משוגעים.
חוסר אמונה, again.
We're talking about sicknesses here. Don't answer me sickness. What's the source of a person who is stingy?
Worry for the future, again, חוסר אמונה.
Emunah, only one reason. No faith in Hashem whatsoever. No faith. Remember, stinginess, if a person has a long beard and a black hat and read Tehillim all day and learn Torah and come to him and say someone is dying, you need money, and he has the money. You're not talking someone doesn't have. He has plenty of money. And he makes you excuses, business is slow, come next week. This person is not religious. Simple as that. Religious means that you have emunah in Hashem. Remember, if somebody asks you, what does it mean to be religious? The first thing is that I have high level of emunah in Hashem. A religious person has no permission to worry about the future. Religious person has no permission to be egoistic and not to do for others. This is a part of religion. It's like you're saying, are you American? Yes, I'm an American. An American, he lives in Iran and plan how to bomb America. You're not an American. If a person says, I'm religious, what's the condition? Besides being Shomer Shabbat, praying and putting tefillin like a robot. This is mitzvat anashim melumada. That's like a robot. Even a guy, you give him some money, he's going to put tefillin every day and keep Shabbat. What's the big deal? That's this mitzvot. It's like you're working automatically. We're not talking about this. We're talking what you really achieve in your life. You were stingy and now you're generous. You were angry and now you're very calm, down to earth. This is an achievement in life. Remember, this Gaon Vilna, they asked him 250 years ago. He was the biggest Kabbalist, maybe in the last 500 years. And they asked him, what's the purpose of life? And he answered, Tikkun Amidot ze kol ha'adam. 5 words. Tikkun Amidot, correction of the bad traits. This is what a person is all about. In English, it's 8 words. But in English, Tikkun Hamidot, Ze Kol Ha'adam. 5 words. That's the purpose of life. He didn't say to keep Shabbat, Ze Kol Ha'adam. Even though it's the covenant with Hashem. To learn Torah, Ze Kol Ha'adam. Limud Torah keneged kulam. But that's not what he answered. Tikkun Hamidot. You're stingy, you have a sickness. You're angry, you have a... That's it. That's why Hashem put you here. It's amazing. Most religious people don't know it. That's why you find so many religious people that behave so horrible. That's why so many secular people don't want to join the religion, because they see how the religious people behave and they say, if this is what religion is, I'm better already as I am. Why do I want to be there? And they have a very sad, they have a point. What does it mean, Kiddush Hashem? The Gemara answer, what is to sanctify the name of Hashem? To hang mezuzot on your door? No, that's not what it's Kiddush Hashem. Kiddush Hashem means that Yeheh Shem Shamayim mitahev al yadcha. Translation, that the name, obviously the name and the religion of Hashem, will be loved by people thanks to you. How it would happen? When people see you do for them, you're kind, you help, you're generous, you're honest, a word is a word, time is time, modesty is modesty, loyalty is loyalty, no anger, no bad things, no lashon hara, you never step them in the back, you don't take advantage on their misery. That's religion. If you do all these things, like some religious people have a beard that they sweep the floor when they walk in the street with their beard, but in reality they're worse than Paro. Even Paro had more emunah than them. Why? Because Paro told Moshe, make sure you sacrifice to Hashem for me also. Paro got his emunah thanks to the makot that Hashem gave him. We also sometimes become religious after we had a tragedy. Most people in the hospital becoming religious, or in the army, when they see people dying in bombs, they begin to talk to Hashem. Up to now, they manage without Hashem. Paro, in the beginning, he said to Moshe, Mi Hashem she'eshma bekolo. You're giving me this religious speech, Hashem. 2 plagues later, what did he say? Okay, you have permission to leave. Take sacrifice for me, or talk to Hashem that He will forgive me and give me another chance. All of a sudden, he became Talmid Yeshiva from Bnei Brak, Paro. Well, how did he learn? You get a smack, you learn. But we don't want to learn through smacks. Why? Let's learn before it comes. You know, one guy, he crossed the street and a car came and hit him. So he went to the hospital. After a week or 2, he came out. So he came to the shul and he decided to make a meal to thank Hashem. Seudat Odaya. So everyone asked him, what's the occasion? Your side, this, what? He said, no, Baruch Hashem, everyone is alive. So what is it? He said, I crossed the street a week ago. I had an accident. Baruch Hashem, it looked bad in the beginning and I came out of it. So I'm thanking Hashem. I want to publish the miracle. Everyone was happy. Okay, the next day, one of the people from the shul also made a meal. So everyone said, what happened? You also got hit by a car? So he said, no, I'm crossing the same road like him 20 years every morning, and not one time a car hit me. Such a dangerous road. Why should I wait until he hit me then to thank Hashem? I want to thank Hashem before. One smart Jew in the world. You see, that's the right way. Not only when the problems, when the IRS took his $50 million, now he wants mezuzot. Now you're a hero, of course. If you're not going to count on Hashem, who's going to help you now? Huh? Yeah, of course. So let's conclude. And then you have time for questions as much as you want. Even different subject. The conclusion is like this. All these sicknesses that we spoke about has a source. We have to correct the source. So if a person sees that he's angry, it's a problem in his emunah. If he's stingy, it's a problem in his emunah. So what does he have to do? To learn about emunah every day. Every day! More important than reading Tehillim. Even for women. More important. Why? If he sits in a yeshiva and he learns Gemara and becoming a wise Talmid Chacham, but he doesn't address his weaknesses, this Gemara will not help him. Yes, it's like learning math. You'll be very educated in math, but you're still a corrupted human being. You have to first address your sicknesses. Once you will get rid of all the negative, then it's time to focus on Gemara, Kabbalah, and this. How can you be a dirty tool wants to put pure water inside when you're full of dirt? First, the Gemara say, En melamdim Torah le'adam she'eno agun. Chachamim already said, you don't teach Torah to people that are not decent. First, you teach them musar, ethics. After you see this teenage or this adult is already better human being, is not cursing anymore, is dressing different, is more proper, more respectful, more loyal, etc., and is getting up on time, not touching bad things, then you see that he's a cleaner person, you begin to teach him Torah. What's the point of teaching him Torah that will become a bigger crook? You know, there was a rabbi that came to Rabbi Zilberstein in Israel, and he asked him a very interesting question. He said, I'm giving a shiur every day to business people in Israeli stock market in Ramat Gan, the diamond district. In Ramat Gan, they have a big building, the Bursa. So a lot of diamond dealer comes, and he teach them Dinei Mamonot, business issues, according to the Torah. Very interesting shiur. So one of them, some of them are not religious. Some of them just put yarmulke for the shiur, but they enjoy the shiur. So one of them comes to him after a month that he comes every day. He says, since I started to come to your shiurim, I doubled my income. So he told him, what do you mean? He said, you taught me, from your teaching, I got a lot of ideas how to cheat my customers better. That's what he told him. Now you spoke about this, you told us cases that happen in a Gemara. I got a lot of ideas. I owe you a lot, he said. So now this Avrech is asking Rabbi Zilberstein if he's allowed to continue to give the shiur, because this person would come. You cannot prevent him from coming. So you go by the majority of the people who come for a good purpose, or you don't do it because this person, it's like lifnei iver lo titen michshol. If you see a person has a weakness, if a person like pork, you don't serve pork next to him. You understand? If a person is a thief, you don't leave $100 bills on the table and go to the grocery. And you know he's going to steal it. Don't help him to sin. A person has a weakness, make sure you save him. You keep the weakness away from him, not bringing it to his mouth. But over here, it's a big thing. So the conclusion is, since it's a shiur for the public, you cannot cancel it because of one crook. But he gave him an advice to tell him to give him musar, shame on you, and to try to be more careful not to bring cases that describe one person who cheated the other and how the Torah look at that. Focus on cases that it's really kosher delegations. Okay, so before we finish, remember, a person has to take a piece of paper and a pen and write a report about himself. I am Ploni ben Ploni, my age such and such, this is what I am. I am a lover of Hashem, yes or no, sometimes yes, sometimes no. I'm faithful to Hashem. Am I an ungrateful person? Do I appreciate everything that people do for me, or I usually a minute later forget and think they owe me more? Am I willing to go out of my way to help others? Did I ever took my car and started and took a person out of my direction, or I only will give him a ride if it's on my way? If I have to go a mile away, that's it. I'm going to keep him all day night waiting. Like in Israel, you have to take 3 buses. So somebody in a wedding, he can give him a ride. It's going to be another 5 minutes of ride. 5 minutes. He doesn't care. His heart doesn't kill him that this person will take now 3 buses and will take him 4 hours until he get home instead of half an hour. Because you know how it is. You go to that bus, you wait 20 minutes, another bus, and the bus hardly moves. And it doesn't care that this person will get home at 2 o'clock at night just because he doesn't want to drive another 5 minutes. No, what kind of Jew is this? Or he drives in the street and he sees some Hasidish guy standing and looking for a ride and continue to drive. How can it be? How can you call yourself religious? If it's in Israel, it's dangerous. Because the Arabs, sometimes they pretend they're Hasidic, I understand. But let's see if you're in Muncie. Or in America, we never heard a case that a goy pretend he's a Hasid and was hitchhiking for a ride. So if it happens here in Great Neck, or it happens in Muncie, it happens in Lakewood, and you ignore your brother, somebody standing, and even if it's a woman, you're allowed to take her. Don't be all of a sudden Baba Sali, watching your eye. All they watch women on the street. Now when he drives on the kir, some woman needs a ride. Oh, all of a sudden he became the Baba Sali HaKadosh. So you put her in the back, and if it's a night, you turn the light on and drive in busy streets. That's it. There's halakha. Everything has halakha. If you're in an area in the middle of the forest and it's no public area, it's a different story. You don't violate the halakha. But all of a sudden he became a Hasid Parush. All day talking to secretaries in Manhattan, Fifth Avenue, goes around, look at women all over. All of a sudden, people come to his house, they became a tzaddik. No, you cannot sit next to the men. The women sit here, this. Or he comes to Shiur Torah, okay, where are we going to put the women, where are we going to put the men? Who are you faking? Who are you faking? In Shiur Torah, women and men are allowed to sit where they want. Nobody comes in Shiur Torah to make scenes. People sit in the speaker and they're watching him. If the women dress not modest, it's a different story. Then it's not enough. You have to even put mechitza if they're not modest. But if they're modest, if it's religious women and men, well, it's not a shul. In shul, you respect the holiness of the place. So you make a divider. There's Ezrat Nashim. But in a regular shiur, that's not a sin. When you go to a Glat Kosher restaurant, you send your wife and the daughters to one side and you go to another side. Believe it or not, people are so proud and so show-off that they're busy all the time to show to the outside how righteous they are, when in reality they're totally rotten. One guy, I don't know who he is, he sent me an email or text this week. What does he say? He said to me, "You're giving a lecture in Brooklyn?" I say, "Yes." "Where?" "In a house in this address." He said, "It's going to be a mechitza there?" He's asking me. I say to him, "No." He say, "Would you agree to ask the people if they can put mechitza that I can come to the shiur?" I already lost my patience to this hypocrite. So I texted him back, I said, "Tell me, when people come to your house, you always put mechitza?" So right away he answered me, "I'm very sorry, you're right." He got the point that I lost my patience for him. I don't know who he is. Maybe he be a tzaddik. I don't know who he is. Maybe he meant well. But usually a person is busy all the time showing off what a tzaddik is, pretending. It can happen to rabbis. Pretending, they come to a place, they stand in a corner, pretend they're tzaddikim. If they're tzaddikim all the time, that's a different story. But most of them, if you follow their lifestyle, you'll be very surprised how far they are from the show-off that they make on the street. Very far. Very, very far. You understand? So at least don't pretend you're holy. Nobody told you have to pretend you're holy. Don't be a faker. That's what Chazal say. Adam צריך שיהיה תוכו כברו. Inside, toch, it's inside, varo, it's outside. Your inside and outside are equal. But don't make mistake like some people do. I'm not a tzavua, I'm not a hypocrite, they say. When I cannot stand the person, I tell it to him in his face. I make sure he understands it. That's not a wisdom. That's the Israeli style. That's stupid. Don't be a tzaddik. Make sure he knows I cannot stand him. No. There's no mitzvah to hurt people. I didn't tell you to go hug and kiss him, like Lavan thought he's going to get some money, so he came to Eliezer, I didn't tell you to run and hug him, but also at the same time, don't make him faces. Behave a proper behaving. There are people like this. I know people, you know what? I know few people in this world that never got angry once in their life. Do you know that? Can you believe me?
What they think and what they show is
different.
How
No.
many people
No, first of all, sometimes it's mitzvah to pretend. Sometimes it's mitzvah to pretend. For instance, if I go to a place with secular people, and they ask me very stupid questions, if I won't pretend that the question is smart, I will never turn them to be religious. If I show them that their question is below kindergarten level, they get intimidated and they get discouraged. So what's going to be? I would lose my communication with them. Same thing with children. Your little kid asks you a question, you have to give him a fake compliment. Wow, what a brilliant question. You thought about it yourself. So it's not always a sin to pretend. A person has to pretend that his wife's food is the best in the world. Everything she makes, always, wow, amazing. How did you learn to do it? Who gave you this idea? It's amazing. I never tasted it like this. Why? You want to make her happy. It's good for the marriage. You don't start criticizing. Oh, you should come to my mother. She'll teach you how to make gondi. You know, you destroyed your marriage.
Maybe you don't have to pretend. It's respect to the person, is it a child or his wife, whatever she did or whatever he do, because it's creation of Hashem. So you have to respect anybody.
What I'm saying is,
stupid question.
The word pretend means not in a negative way. When you give a compliment to a person, sometimes he deserves the compliment, sometimes he doesn't. But the Torah say that one way to build good relationship with a person is to give compliments. So if you criticize a person all the time, depend. If the person knows you love him, like a student and teacher, if the teacher already bought the trust of this kid, and he knows my Rebbe will give his life for me, and he really loves me, then you can criticize him as much as you want, because you know you want his own success. But if the kid is not convinced that you love him, which means you did not prove yourself yet, you never gave him a hug, you never took him to pizza, you never did something, you never spoke to him half an hour in your lunch break, you did not do anything to build trust between you and this kid, and you only criticize him, he will not accept from you. The opposite, you make him hate you, and then even your teaching he will not get. Same thing husband and wife. If a husband always criticizes his wife, what happened to her in the end? She loses her confidence. She loses her desire to live. Forget about confidence. She doesn't want to live. The Torah says, a woman enjoy that a man would control her and that she will be dependent on him, and he will be her boss in one condition. If she knows that he loves her for real, she would take everything from him. Why? She knows he loves her, he appreciates what she does, she's willing to follow him, like he's saying, bankruptcy, I'm with you. Taking risk, children, moving, different country, I'm with you. Why? But there's no love, no confidence. They need two separate bank accounts. You'll be surprised how many religious people have separate bank accounts. You'll be surprised how many religious men never give their wives access to their money. Never. You'll be very surprised what's happening out there. Women are begging for $300 a week allowance, and they have to spend it on grocery. When this Effendi, the Amir, the Saudi Sheikh, is spending thousands of dollars on his sins, pretend he's religious, and his wife are struggling, and now when they come to divorce case, she doesn't even know if he has money, what he has, what's on his name, nothing. From day one, he never trusted her. What is it like? Like making a girl sign a prenuptial agreement. It's like coming to a girl and say, I'm marrying you temporarily. So let's prepare our divorce case already. Imagine a guy can date you on a date. I see some young girls there. So imagine you come on a date, and the guy say to you, oh, this is the papers of the marriage, please sign here on the divorce. You want to marry a guy like this? So you may say, yeah, but maybe he's a very wealthy guy. He will never know if she marry him for his money or for his wealth. Right? For his wealth. So I have a solution. Don't tell her lawyers, prenuptial agreement and everything. You tell her, listen, you want to have a bright future, you want to have money, I'll put $10 million in an account on your name. If one day I leave you, you already have the money, relax. You don't need me for the money. Now, do you want to marry me for who I am or for my money? Here, you got what you want. Before all these agreements. Now what? I had a guy who came to me, I set him up on a date with a girl. So he drove all the way to Muncie. I didn't know what car he has until he came to my driveway. I see a $150,000 Mercedes, very fancy sport Mercedes. So I'm saying to him, okay, listen, leave your car here, take my car. A lousy car. I said, take my car and go on a date. So he said to me, why? He didn't understand. I said to him, well, if you're going with a car like this to the date, of course the girl will say yes. Most of the girls, they're very materialistic. They see money, they forget about everything. So you go like this with a car, you want to know if the girl will ever love you? You'll never know. Go with this garbage car. She wants another date, and you know, she really like who you are, not your car. He said, no, what? He didn't want. He want to go with this car. That's the whole point. He wants to go. People like to lie to themselves. Everyone wants to live in a lie. In a business, everyone. The Torah tell you, get the lie out of your life. So he doesn't want. So I said to him, 5 minutes ride with my garbage car, you don't want to drive? He said, no, it's not that. So I said to him, I have a better idea. Send your driver with the car to the date. You don't have to go to the date. He looks at me, so what do you mean, my driver? I have to date the girl. I said, you don't have to, it's a done deal. Send the driver with the car, she said, I do.
Take the driver.
She said, I'll do. Send a note. The driver say, my master asked, would you marry him? She say, okay. Yeah. You know, we know some communities that many guys and girls went on a date, they loved each other, and their parents did not let them marry it. Thousands of times. They're criminal parents. No offense to anyone. I hope it didn't happen to you. She loves something. You know, I hope it didn't happen to you. That you no, you know what she reminded me now? She reminded me of a guy and a girl in Israel, a true story. They got married, and by the end of the marriage, the bag with all the checks and the cash disappeared. Imagine what a way to finish your wedding. So they go all over. They look all over for the bag, it's gone. All 600 people, cash. In Israel, people bring cash in the envelopes. You'll never know. Wow, what are you going to do? What a disaster. You have to pay to the band, you have to pay this. They went crazy. So they went everywhere. They called the police. Whatever happened, they can't find the bag. You know, what can they do? They go home. Instead of being happy, they're crying. After 3 weeks, the video arrived. The entire family gathered. You know, video usually you watch once. It's a disposable item. You watch it once, that's it. After that, it goes to the closet for 20 years. So everyone gathered. They want to watch the video. So they sit over there. So now, close to the end of the video, the girl said to the husband, you know, maybe we'll get lucky. You see the bag is right there on the chair? Maybe we'll see now who stole it. So they all got nervous like this. They're watching. No, it was right here, right about here. So they look. All of a sudden, they see somebody with the back going towards the bag, checking inside. Then they hear, like over here, something fell on the floor, but a chair fell on the floor. Everyone looked on the side. They see the father of the girl, of the Kala, fainted and fell on the floor. And just as they saw and heard the noise, everyone looks at the scream. They saw the father of the girl taking the bag, putting it like this under his jacket, and running. He saw it coming. He saw that he's going with the back. In the beginning, they didn't see it's him, because he was walking like this with his jacket in the back. Then he saw that it's a video showing him stealing the money. From the embarrassment, he fainted and fell. So I say, I hope it didn't happen to you. But I said, many, even in this town, and actually especially in this town, you know, I always try very hard to say the truth in the lecture, even though I know I'm losing fans. I'm not in this world to gain fans. I don't care. I don't have fans. But the truth must be said. Now, you want to be honest and change? Fine. You don't want to be honest? You can say whatever you want. I did what I have to do. The rest is not in my hand. I know some speakers, they always like to be politically correct. They never speak about punishment. They always say nice, positive things to make you feel great. It's good for the business. There's more donations. I know all this. I cannot be like this. Cannot live with myself knowing I became like a lawyer who gives lectures in seminars. That's not our job here. Our job is to make Jews closer to Hashem in any way possible. So I'm saying the truth now, based on 17 years experience that I have. Hundreds of times, boys and girls from this town came to me with tears that they found their soulmate and the parents do not let. These are the reasons. Main reason, he doesn't have $5 million yet. He cannot afford a house here. Or that's main reason is wealth. Second reason, family issues. His family are not high style like us. We came from this city in Iran, they came from that city. Not good enough. That's the second reason. Third reason, education. All of a sudden, all the Persian people who used to be very primitive in Iran, everyone became Obama. Everyone, degrees. No, in education. Education is a bright man. In education. Everyone is a sharp second degree, third, this, master. Everyone all of a sudden educated. They came to America, they didn't know alphabet, they didn't know 2 words in English, they made millions of dollars. All of a sudden they want their kids to be doctor, this. They don't care what's good for the kids. Without realizing, they make the kids a tool to feed their ego. If the kid say to him, Dad, I don't want to be a doctor. It's not for me. I'm not for surgeries. I'm not to serve people. I'm not to change diapers. That's not for me. I cannot do a job like this. Or I'm not going to be a lawyer standing and lying to the judge. It's not my nature. No, you will. Your cousin is, you also will. Don't embarrass us. You want, I'm going to take you out of my will. All kinds of nonsense like this. Yes, it happens all the time. Education all of a sudden became a very important thing. I don't understand these parents because today it's a very, very stupid choice to go to college to begin with. And I'll prove it to you. It used to be days in this country when you went to a college, you came out of the college, right away you got a good job and you made a lot of money. Today you go to college, it's very expensive, it costs a lot of money, it's a lot of headache. You have to waste a lot of time on learning their nonsense, that it's not necessary. And in the end, whether you graduate in law or medicine or anything you do, you cannot find a job. Now, if you find a job, let's say you found a job, how much you think they pay a lawyer out of law school? I had a guy, he went to a very respectful law firm in Manhattan, Jewish, American, Ashkenazi guy, from a family, respectful. His father is a big doctor. You know, the typical successful Jew. He went to a good law school, I think NYU. He came they offered him $45,000 a year. Then I sent him to a lawyer that I knew. He gave him 60. To start, he told him after a year, we consider to raise you to 70 or 80. I don't remember what it was.
I know lawyer making $500,000.
Wait. So now...
I know a doctor making $1 million.
Yeah, wait.
It's good.
Yeah, I also know murderer who makes millions of dollars. I know murderers who make millions of dollars, they didn't go to college. Okay, now the money, remember good what I'm saying. Most of them, first of all, most of the people who graduate college do not work in what they learn. They don't. They learn one thing and they ended up doing something else in their life. Remember, check the statistic. Most people, college did not help them in any way in their life. It was just a waste of few years. Second problem is those who continue... Wait.
There are teachers here, not being fair.
That's right.
Going to get education, you don't have to be a lawyer. Just the education makes you a smarter person.
Oh, I was about to get to it, about education. I will speak. Let me finish what I say, then make the comments.
To join the New York City Police Department, you must have a bachelor's degree. Otherwise, you get zero amount of...
All right, okay, I understand. Now, wait. Let me finish what I say. Wait. Let me finish. I know I'm touching. I know I'm touching a sensitive issue, but I have much more experience than you. You see 1 or 2 people, and I see thousands of kids who graduate college. What are they doing today? Okay, now wait. Well, I'm gonna get to what you say about education. Okay, so now here is the point here. Most of the people that comes out of college make 40, 50, 60, even 80. Every taxi driver who came from Uzbekistan or Azerbaijan or from Israel, car service driver, makes more money a year than them without any education. Even he's not legal in this country. He's not even an American. He makes more money than them. Salespeople, people who go from door to door and sell products, make more money, most of them. People who went into work into gold and jewelry, they never went to college. They make much more money than all these bombastic college degree. Most of the college people who graduate college cannot find jobs for years. They're unemployed for a long, long time. Right. They struggle a lot. They don't make a living. The middle class in America is destroyed. So so the college is not what it used to be. It used to be, unless if you're a very, very bright person, you went to Harvard, then you're going to make $200,000 first year out of Harvard, maybe. But even $200,000, there's ways to make it without spending 8 years of learning. Plus, they have to pay $100,000 student loans. The typical student, after 5 or 6 years that they went to college, has to pay the student loans for years. Now, you ask me about education. I did not go to college. Am I look to you like an educated person or not? Usually every person who went to college who argue with me about science, I usually win the argument. Arguing with me about business, I usually win the argument. Even about medicine, and I'm not a doctor. You can learn everything you want today without college. Education is not only in schools. I know kids who did not go to school, and they bright Talmidei Chachamim today, did not go to school until a certain age. When I was in school, I did very bad. I hardly went to school. I hardly was in the class. My mind was somewhere else in those days. It doesn't mean you cannot learn on your free time. One thing, I used to read tons of books, lots of books. Everything I know in my life.
Like you. Not everybody.
Wait. But first of all, no, wait. I'm just telling you what you. In the end, you do what you want. Nobody tells you what to do. You want to send your children to college? It's up to you and them. I'm just saying the reality. You can argue with what I say by proving me wrong, but I'm telling you from experience, it doesn't pay anymore unless if this kid.
Let me just give you one example.
Studying at age of 40. And became Rabbi Akiva.
Okay, now you spoke about education. The real education is learning Torah. Learning Torah. Yeah. When you learn Torah, you get the real education, because there's not one thing in life that the Torah didn't speak about. You learn from the Torah about life, you learn about psychology, you learn about math, you learn about so many things in Torah that you don't learn over there. Plus, you learn how to be a decent, righteous person. You learn to be a faithful person. You learn how to be a tzaddik. Nobody in college will teach you those skills. You will only learn certain things. Plus, there are many courses that you can take and find a job. You go 3-4 months. You don't need 4, 5, 7 years, 10 years. There are courses who people are taking, computer courses, few months, bookkeeping, all kinds, and they find a job, and they almost make the same money. So, like I said, there is no, King Solomon already wrote it, Lo lachachamim lechem. Wisdom does not bring wealth. Only what Hashem wants you to make, you will make. Whether you have college degree, whether you don't have college degree. And those lawyers he spoke about that make $500,000, they are 1% of the 100% lawyers. They have their own firms. They started 30, 40, 50 years ago. They're already very experienced in the business. The new ones, unless, as I said, they came out of Harvard and they were very bright and they had connection and somebody got them a job in a good firm, the average ones do not make a living. Without their parents feeding them, they don't finish the month. 1 second.
What do you think about Torah Umada? Like, Hashem created the world to bring the physical and to bring the science and math and history and whatever else there is. He created it so we could bring it into spiritual being.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't understand how you're saying, like, I just don't understand, like, what's your view on that, on bringing Torah Umada?
Almost every yeshiva teach science, teach math, teach English, teach everything. Teach computers. Okay, listen, what you need for everyday life, the yeshivot will teach you. But other things, it's not a must. I don't have to be a doctor, I don't have to be a lawyer, and I don't have to be an architect.
But the more you know, the more you could become a spiritual person.
Well, at the same time, you can be a rabbi, you can be a speaker, you can be a sofer, you can make tefillin. There's a lot of religious people through the Torah became millionaires. You heard about Rabbi Ovadia Yosef?
I'm not saying
he makes more money than all these lawyers combined.
I'm not saying in the aspect of getting
That's
a job.
a few
I'm saying
people
the
that get this
aspect
from
of
Torah. I'm sorry.
Also in the law school, it's 1% of the lawyers who are successful.
No,
Most of them do not make a living. I know many lawyers, I'm telling you. One by one is struggling. I'm telling you.
When one gets sick, he wants a doctor.
The goyim are good doctors. There's a lot of
You
good.
can be the best doctor in the world.
The goyim are good doctors. What? The goyim, chokhmah b'goyim ta'amin. What do we need? I need all the doctors to be Jewish.
A lot of Jewish doctors, very
Of
good
course.
Jewish.
You're not getting what I say. I'm sorry. All these arguments that you're making is not to the point.
not arguing.
I know there are lawyers that are Jews and doctors. Most of the doctors and the lawyers in America are Jewish. I'm saying today, it doesn't pay to go and spend 8 years of your life and $100,000 to get a degree or a job that will bring you 40 to 50, 60, $70,000 a year. If that's your achievement, excuse my language, is a very foolish investment. Very foolish excuse
me. I want to say something. There is a lady.
Wait.
For the young, children, this is
Wait. She's talking. Why? You keep breaking into my words. I don't understand why.
There's a lady, she worked for me 6 years ago. She came to me, she said, I want to go to learn medicine, pharmacy. I said, it's the best thing. She's a very religious person.
No,
very
so?
religious person.
No, fine. So what?
After
It's good?
6 years, she is making $95,000 a year.
Yeah.
And she doesn't work on Shabbat and very religious. It's not good to discourage people not to go to college.
No, first of all, I'm
Education
But
is
this is
good.
the
For
point of
anything
view.
you do,
You want to
degree
take
here.
it, you don't
yeah.
want, you don't
You
take
want?
it.
I say the facts. Listen. We're not.
He didn't say the education not good. Some people, they get education and they cannot get the job what they study.
Yeah. Not
The
only.
discussion
And most
started
of
with getting
education
married.
today-
The whole thing was about getting married.
Yeah.
Parents
Education.
make such a big deal.
Parents.
Someone who is
So-
not educated.
now let me say. Oh, you reminded me about something that I almost forgot to say. Sometimes the guy is wealthy, and they still don't want him because he doesn't have a degree. So I say to myself, since when the Sephardi people became so prestige and educated that someone whose family has millions of dollars, it's a show off. Thank you very much. That's what I've been trying to say for the last 20 minutes. It's all a fake show off. All this college industry and show off and degree, it's all a show off. If you take out the show off, maybe 10% of the kids who go and invest their life into it will do it. The rest will do other things in life. Many of the kids here, their parents have very big successful businesses. All they have to do is join one of the businesses, stores, real estate management, buildings, but it's not high society, it's not prestige. I'm gonna manage buildings for my father. What am I gonna do? You understand? I'm the son of the owner. I wanna be something on my own. It's all, you have to understand, it's the Satan is creating a fake competition. Everyone live in this fake thing, and in the end, what you're supposed to make, you make without pharmacy, without being a lawyer, without being a computer engineer.
Not everybody, I'm sorry.
So,
Yes, but what you're saying that
You have to understand that what you say is a very big firah in Hashem, very big, because you are saying that only educated people have parnasa, and Shlomo HaMelech say, education does not bring parnasa. The people have the right if they want to believe you or they want to believe Shlomo HaMelech.
but Rabbi, education is a security.
Education.
Security for
Education does not bring a penny extra a year. A penny.
So,
A penny extra.
but without education, what our children they're gonna do?
They find a job. They take a course. They learn what to do, and they do.
so you want
But I want to tell you something. If you know, listen. If your son would come and tell you, I want to be a mechanic. If your son would come to you and say, I want to be a mechanic, and he's gonna make $120,000 a year, $10,000 a month cash, and he's gonna say to you, I want to be a lawyer, but I'm gonna make $50,000 a year. You're gonna say, no, you be a lawyer. Why? Because you're embarrassed that your friends will tell you your son is mechanic under the car, changing oil, getting clothes. And I say that's where the mistake starts. It's all a show off. What people's gonna say about us? That's all a show. That's all.
And I said it's good to go and study, and at the end, even do something else. And you have the education too.
You know, I gotta tell you.
about marriage. It's not about the education.
I want to tell you.
All right.
We don't study just to go to work.
Okay.
It's for yourself.
Study Torah. You'll be educated more than college.
That's very
The most educated people in the world are the people that learn Torah. The Chazon Ish did not go to college and he knew brain surgeries better than the doctors. The Gaon Mivilna, he knew things that the doctors will never know.
What about the girls?
Women, I tell you, I give advice to women. Okay, what women, if they can learn in courses or in certain way, I tell you what's the recommended jobs for women. One is special aid. They can go to a short special aid or nurse. Why I'm giving this advice? Because first of all, it's clean job. It's good pay, and you are busy with kindness and chesed every day of your life. You help people, miserable people, you help sick people, so at least you do something productive. For instance, many Jews making millions by being criminal lawyers. A Jew doesn't have permission to be a criminal lawyer. Every day of his life is very big sin. A Jew cannot be a criminal lawyer, cannot pretend protect a rapist knowing he rapes women just because he's going to make $1 million from his parents. You're not allowed. It's a big sin. You're not allowed to protect the murderers. According to Hashem, they have to be put to death. Why are you protecting them? You're not allowed to testify in front of a secular judge, needless to say a goy. You're not allowed to accept the testimony of Jews that are mechalelei Shabbat. They consider like goyim. You're not allowed to listen to them in a court. Every second of his life, it's a big sin. And those are the people who will get the biggest punishments. After making all these millions, they're going to have to pay with a lot of interest when they come in front of Hashem. Because remember, it's not only that they're sinning, they are the reason why more women got raped. They are the reason why more people got murdered. They are the reason why innocent people went to jail. They are the reason of tons of tragedies. In the 34 of their career, they created so many tragedies to people. I'll give you one example. If you're a Jewish judge and a Jew got caught selling stocks knowing what's going to happen in advance, someone gave him inside information, tip, and he knew that this company is going to crash. So he sold his stocks before. Or they told him this company will go high, and he bought a lot of stocks, and the next day he doubled, and he made a lot of money. From the Torah, is it a sin? Nothing. No sins whatsoever. Now, if you got caught by the FBI, you're going to go to jail minimum 5 years for it, and they take away everything you have. They put your children with no money, they take your house, they take your bank accounts, freeze everything. They would leave you only few $1,000s in the account for your wife to eat for a week or two, and they destroy the family. Now, a judge, a Jewish judge, he has to go by the law of the United States. Otherwise, he gets fired in a day. He cannot go by the laws of the Torah. So a judge or a lawyer or criminal lawyer, whether it's defense, whether it's a prosecutor, they are the biggest murderers. Maybe they don't intend to murder people, but he has to make a verdict to send an innocent Jew to the prison for 5 years and take away all his money, and his family crash, and the kids will be on the street, and they're going to be homeless, and who knows what's going to happen to them. When he comes in front of Hashem, he's going to pay for eternity for the destruction of this family. What do you think? So he makes millions of dollars. I know lawyers who make $500,000. Who? The criminal lawyers. These criminal lawyers, for every penny they make, they will pay endless hell for that. So what are you jealous with them? That they educated? Only criminal lawyers make it. And sometimes real estate lawyer. You want to be a real estate lawyer? Fine. So you go, you invest few years. I'm telling you, if you trust Hashem, you can make the same amount of money without college. You want to trust your education? Fine, Hashem send you your money through your education. You want to trust Hashem to send you parnasah? You'll have enough parnasah. If you don't believe me, I will give you a list of 100 rabbis. Each one of them has millions of dollars, and they never went to school, college, high school, none of these things. From day one, they learn Torah, and Hashem sent them tons of money. What? Through different ways, incredible ways. You know?
But you are saying that it's all from Hashem, no matter if the person will go to college, not go to college, whatever he needs to get, he's going to get.
Right.
You mean only if the person is going in the way of Hashem?
No. Wicked people, Hashem also, Saddam Hussein had $40 billion without going to college.
So it doesn't matter.
Gaddafi had $200 billion. Yasser Arafat has hundreds of millions. You're standing in the camera. So all these people, all these murderers, all these wicked people, Israel is full of wicked people. They make millions. Many of them did not go to college. You know how many crooks you have in Israel? They make millions of dollars. Whatever a person's supposed to make, he will make. The Chazon Ish said that the thieves are the most stupid people. Why? Because whatever they steal, they would make anyway. If he stole $500,000 this year from customers, from cheating, lying, he is supposed to make this. Whatever you make will stay in your hand in the end of the year. Whether you got it in a kosher way, whether you got it in a non-kosher way. The difference is, when you get it in a kosher way, you have patience until Hashem sends it to you, then you did not violate any rule. When you steal it, Hashem keeps it by you. Now when one day a person dies, he has to pay for it, for stealing what was his. You understand what's going on here? What is it like? I want to give my son $100. So I take it from the left pocket and put it on the right pocket, that when I see him, I'll give it to him tomorrow morning. But in the middle of the night, he came into the shower where my pants is hanging, and he stole the $100 from my pocket. In the morning, I see the $100 is gone. I know he took it. He's the only boy in the house. So he took it, right? So I don't say anything. So he got what he was supposed to get anyway. But one day, when I have to write my will, I'm going to say, see, everyone gets this and this, and you lose such and such. So why? Remember you stole the money 30 years ago? This is your punishment now. So you would say, wow, what a fool I am. It was my $100 anyway. But you failed the test. Same thing over here. You think that college would bring you the money? Hashem say, fine. You'll make it through law, through medicine, no problem. I wasn't talking about that. You don't have emunah in Hashem, go kill yourself, go work 20 hours a day. It doesn't mean it has to be this way. You chose it that way, you'll get it that way. I was talking about the show-off around it. That parents here are breaking the marriages of their children for such stupid things, and no one makes a beep. No one makes a beep. And some of these kids get to age 40s, in the 40s, and they never get married. The parents really destroy their life. And I'll tell you a mashal, and we'll finish with this. One poor person, he was starving for the whole day, didn't eat anything. And he saw a beautiful house, and he saw outside a mezuzah. So he knocked on the door, and the reality Jew opened the door. And he said to him, please have mercy on me, I didn't eat, give me something to eat if you can. So he told him, okay, I'm going to give you the best meal you ever had, but in one condition. I want you to clean my garage. It's a big mess in my garage. There's lots of shelves. Everything got messed up. Lots of dust. Here is cleaning stuff. Go clean my garage. Work for me 2 hours. I promise you, whatever you want. Fish, meat, desserts. Just name it. So the poor person said, what am I going to do? If I'm going to continue to look for a place, I may die from starvation. I better work 2 hours and get it. So he went to the garage, he started to clean from the last energy he has left. He clean. He finished the garage, it looks like a pharmacy now. Everything in place. So he comes up, he said to him, okay, I paid my due, now you give me what you promised. He said, of course, a word is a word. You see that house across the street? He said to him, yes. He said, go over there, don't have to knock on the door. Open the door, come inside, the meal is all ready for you. Whatever you want, buffet, take whatever you want. So the poor said, oh, thank you very much. Ran quickly to the place, he opened the place. He see, mamash like a king, lots of food, buffet, meat, rice, this. He eats, put in his pocket, cookies, a little whiskey, puts everything, whatever he can take, fruits. He packed himself, said, I worked for it. Now he's about to leave. One person outside is saying to him, I never saw such an ungrateful person like you in my life. So he looks up. He said to him, why ungrateful? He said, look, you came, you ate, you took, enjoy. But not even one word of thank you? So he said to him, I'm very sorry, who are you? I work for this meal, you're not doing me any favor. I deserve it. What do you mean thank you? You have to thank me for the work I did. So he said to him, work? I never saw you. First time I see you, it's now. What work? He said, across the street, I work for you guys. He said, oh, that rich guy fooled you also, huh? Every time a poor person knock on his door, he give him an assignment, and he send him over here to eat. This is a orphanage home. Everyone who wants to come eat, shelter for the homeless. They come and they eat as much as they want. Nothing to do with him. That's the mashal, the parable. What's the nimshal? What do you learn from this? Hashem put us here. And the world is the Bet Tamchui, which means the place where people come and eat for free. And Hashem said there are two ways to get the food. You want to come directly and eat, or you want to go through the rich man to do an assignment, and then he will send you to eat. Some people trust Hashem, they go and they learn Torah, 5 years, 10 years, it looks that they're not making money. One day Hashem pays them big time. Then you see all of a sudden they became very rich, very, very rich. You know, I just heard Rabbi Amnon Yitzchak, someone sent me a clip from his video yesterday, that he said in a video, yesterday they posted it on his website, that many years ago, he had a situation that he didn't have what to eat. He didn't have money to give his children, and today he's a multi-millionaire. He drives a $250,000 car, and he has many millions of dollars and a very successful businesses that he's involved with, but he never went to college, or he's not what you think he is. Hashem wanted him poor until a certain age, and from that age he decided now it's time to pay you. You trusted me, you went to learn Torah, you went to give lecture, so now it's time to pay. Hashem gives us what he wants when he wants. That's why we say it 3 times a day. ואתה נותן להם את אוכלם בעיתו. There are people who don't trust Hashem, they think college would bring me the money. Hashem say go to college. Go kill yourself. You want to get your money this way, you get it this way. I know college would not add a penny to my income. Why should I waste 8 years on it? I know Hashem feed me. That's it. It's in your mind. Hashem will handle you with your emunah. Remember, the Torah say, Hashem gives his lovers what? L'miyachalim lechasdo. There's a word in the Torah, Hashem shomer et oavav, למי? l'miyachalim lechasdo. Remember those 2 words. Those who are anxious for his help, Hashem helps more. Those who think, I make the money, the Torah say, kochi ve'otzem yadi asa li et hachayil hazeh. I am successful, I am a lawyer, I went to school, I got the degree, I put the deal together, it's thanks to my efforts. Hashem said, okay, from now on, you are in the end of your own efforts. Everything is in your hand. Tomorrow you're sick, you won't make. Tomorrow this, you are on your own. But when a person comes and says, I'm nothing, whatever Hashem gives me, it's his, whatever it's his, everything is his, whenever he wants to give me, he gives me, you'll be very surprised. Very, very surprised, you know. Some people learn the hard way. I know a person, he had a lot of investments. You know how they say, don't put all your eggs in one basket? So he invested his money in 7 different investments with very supposedly reliable people. Agreements, witnesses, liens, whatever you want. Then one deal after the other fell. In 1 year, 7 deals collapsed. 7 deals. $1 million here, $1 million there, 800,000 there, $500,000 there. A person that was wealthy and lots of expenses, one deal after the other. He had more than $50,000 a month income without working. One deal failed, went down to 43. Another deal failed, went down to 35. Another deal fell down, went down to 30. Another deal went down to 22. In the end, he had less income than expenses. And now he's accumulating debt. He got to a point where it was 10 days before all the bills are coming. And he's in a negative $14,000 in his bank account. The bank, he has a line of credit because the bank knows, until now he has a lot of transactions. The bank doesn't know he collapsed. So now he has 10 days. It was the 20th of the month. This person went to give a lecture somewhere, and an anonymous person who came to a lecture for the first time of his life. He enjoyed his lecture so much that by the end of the lecture he came to him and he said to him, I'm so inspired by your lecture that I want to do something for you. So he said to him, well, what do you mean? So he took out his checkbook and he wrote to him a check for $7,000. You have to agree that it's a very rare thing. person come first time in his life to learn, and he come to the speaker and write him a check for $7,000. Now that speaker, he was sure that something is fishy. Maybe he wants something to do with the drug dealer. Who knows? I just met the person. He said to himself, well, who knows what he's going to do now? Never happens. May is one of my fans for years, came to my house, he think, but the person saw me for the first time for 2 hours, and now he's willing to give me such an amount. So he said to him, I cannot accept it. So he said to him, why? He said, no, it's too much, and I don't think it's proper. And now he has $14,000 negative. In 10 days, all the checks will bounce, mortgage, everything, his children yeshivot. You know what, the pressure. So he said to him, I don't understand, you're insulting me. The rich guy told him, you're insulting me. Every rabbi ever gave money. He told me right away, can I put you on my monthly list? Can we call you every month? Now I give you a donation, you say I don't want?
Credit card.
Wait a minute. He took out his checkbook, listen good, and he wrote another check for $7,000. And he gave him exactly what he needs. So that person said that after something like this happened to him, even though he lost millions of dollars in a period of 1 year prior to that, it was the happiest night of his life. Why? Because he already finally understood the supervision of Hashem. Up to now, it was all me, my talent, investment, this, that's how he thought. When Hashem put him down on his knees, but before he really going to be on the street soon, he started to give even a small miracle. What's 14,000 for that person was making more than 50,000 automatically without working. And everything went down, and all of a sudden he needed this miracle to survive another man, and from that moment he got back on his feet. You understand? So what do you see? It's all in emunah. Hashem said to the Jews, don't save for tomorrow. Don't save man for tomorrow. Eat today. Some Jews did not trust him. They saved for tomorrow in a jar. They came the next day. It was all worms. Why the Torah told us this story? It's not relevant to Yetziat Mitzrayim. Why? There's half a page in the Torah about this. There are people who kept man for tomorrow and it all became worms. Why? Hashem, you think that the Torah is a newspaper? Every verse in the Torah teach for eternity. Hashem wanted to tell you there are two kinds of Jews. The one who trusts me and whatever I give them they spend and enjoy. And the one who always worry and always saving, this saving, that CD, that one, and in the end they lose everything anyway. Which one of the two you are? Your way or my way? No, there are people, everything they have they give. Hard to believe what emunah they have. Hashem will give me next month. Nothing to worry. Now I don't have. Here, the bank account is... next month comes, they give out everything. Other people who don't have emunah, $10 million cash they have, they still worry. Why? They always worry. It's a sickness. And that's if you don't have emunah, believe me, they worry all the time. Not to talk about all the wealth that constantly they have technical problems. The manager quit, this investigation, mistake in the taxes. There's always problem. Arbe nechasim, arbe deagot. So this world is a bet tamchui. Bet tamchui means a place for the poor people to come and eat whenever they want. You decide you want to come eat for free, or you want to go do a job that they'll give you a ticket to go to the Bet Tamchui and work. You want to get a ticket in a college, you get it in a college. You want to get it in this school, you get it in that school. I rather go directly to the Bet Tamchui. And in the time that I don't waste, I rather learn Torah and do mitzvot and do other things. And in the end, we both have the same money, whatever Hashem wants to give us. And now it's time for questions. Now everyone who has questions, raise his hand. You spoke enough. Let's start with her. We'll get to you.
You said mitzvah last week. I have a car for 10 years ago, but it's only 44 kilometers.
Yeah.
It's clean, very, very good. Mitsubishi I have right now. Okay, I did a mitzvah.
Yeah.
But I like to do mitzvah. Okay.
Yeah.
I said to my friend, okay, come to my car, I drop you.
Yeah.
Okay. When we got to her home, she said, what kind of car do you have? This is very good. It was how many years ago? I said, it's 10 years ago. Shh. You have to change. What car do you have? You know, it hurt me. I did mitzvah. But she hurt me. I said, no more mitzvah.
Oh, you see the mistake? You see? No more mitzvah. That's the mistake. That's the mistake. No, but so what do you care what she said? No.
I'm happy with my car. Baruch Hashem, I have a car.
So I don't understand. If somebody come to your house and say, what kind of candles you lighting? Why it's not silver? So no more candle lighting?
No, you shouldn't tell me. He shouldn't. And he should show me Shabbat.
Yeah. Shomer Shabbat, but the mind is a little bit empty.
This has hurt me.
Okay, go ahead.
No more. I said, no. This car.
Okay, now I need you to give me a ride. Where is that car? But you have to take me all the way to Muncie. But don't worry, I'm going to compliment you on the car. I don't have anything better. Go ahead.
I just some kind of understanding of what you're saying about
Now questions, please. No.
education.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. From what I understood from you, the dentist has education.
Right.
But what he did with his education was the best thing that the person can be.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you're educated. Let's say I have a PhD. But for me, it doesn't matter. I can go and clean bathroom, but I'll do a good job.
Yeah.
And I'll do a mitzvah if I need to someone that in need. It doesn't matter where I am.
Right.
So you don't have to say you don't need to do the sentence of Beze'at apecha tochal lachem.
Right.
Because this world, we have no choice. Whether you're doing whatever you're doing, you're learning Torah, you're still sweating. You go to education and you do your dentist work, or you have a PhD in microbiology, or whatever you're doing in a hospital. You have to do a good deeds wherever you are.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
So you basically...
So you don't put down the education, because a person that go to the path of education need to go to this path.
Right,
There's
right.
nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
But if you're using it in the right way...
Not true. Wait, I got to stop you. Not true. The person doesn't have to go in this path. The person choose where to go. A person doesn't have to go... No, absolutely not. I have a choice now to go to college or to go to yeshiva. It's my choice. Hashem did not decide for me. I wanted to go to school and be a lawyer. I went to school. It came on the expense on learning 6 years Torah. I made millions being a lawyer, could be. But remember, there was a price that I paid for it. What is the price? The years that I missed learning Torah will never return. And one word of Torah is better than all the millions that you make.
That learning Torah is not so important than Tikkun HaMidot.
No, I didn't say that. No.
In your path.
No, I said learning Torah is very important. I said limud Torah keneged kulam, but I say there's something more important. The learning Torah has to bring you into correct your negative personality. If you learn Torah and it doesn't materialize into actions, then something is not right. It's like constantly putting water in a bucket, but if there is a hole, no. But if it doesn't have a hole, then there's a value. So learning Torah is the most important mitzvah. Except one thing, making Jews religious is a higher mitzvah. But other than that, learning Torah is the most important thing. And
if you know how to use it. In real life.
If you practice the Torah in your action, if you learn chesed, Avraham chesed, Sarah chesed, and you never do chesed. So what's the whole point of learning?
Right.
You teach a person not to cares. Hashem hate to cares, and all day cares. So what's the point of the Torah? The opposite. Hashem said to this person, you learn all your life my Torah, and you stay the goy, a typical goy from the market that cares all day, every second word is a cares. So what's... Usually it doesn't happen. No matter who goes to learn Torah, right away he becomes a much better human being. No matter where. But sometimes not enough. Yeah, he become better, but sometimes he did not get rid of his weaknesses. Remember, most of the people wants to address every issue that they have that it's easy to address. Like most women, you tell them to do something, they'll tell you, I'll do everything except covering my hair. So why? No, that's hard for me. But I wear skirt, I'll do this, I'll keep Shabbos, I saw the truth, everything, but leave me, I just don't want to cover my hair. So then the answer to this girl is, this is your main tikkun in life. Exactly. That's what hard for you, that's what you came to the world for. What's the hardest for a person to do, but needs to be done according to the Torah? That's where he has to put his main energy in. If he does everything around and did not touch, what is it like? a person has a heart problem. The arteries are blocked. So they bring him with ambulance to the emergency room, and he also have a kidney, a stone in a kidney. His nose is not so straight, so they have to do a plastic surgery. He has a little bit extra weight in his belly, so they have to do liposuction. He has about 5 or 6 different things. What does the doctor has to do? To save the heart right now, or to worry about his crooked nose, or that he has extra few pounds and to do liposuction? He has to take care of the heart. We have this nature that we have to focus on the most critical thing. We want to keep it for the end, and usually without taking care of it. What we take care of this, what's easy for us we do. What's hard, we constantly prevent until we're not doing it. So that's the point. The point is, a person has to put all his energy in what's hard for me. That's when you know you're changing. And the other things, it's easy. Like, I give you an example. The Persian people that I met all my life, all of them were nice, generous, and do wonderful hospitality. I don't remember one time coming to a house of a Persian person or Bukharian person who did not take everything they have in the closets and in a fridge and put it all over for one person. 5 tons of food they put on the table for one guest that came for 10 minutes. Why? That's their nature. That's how they grew up. That's what they saw by their parents and their grandparents. That's how it was everywhere in the Jewish communities in Iran and also by the Muslims. That's the mentality of the Middle East. Someone come to your house, you make him a king. This is the mentality. They don't deserve a lot of credit for it because they don't know any other better. Someone who grew up in a cold European mentality that over there you don't get a glass of water and became religious, and now he opened up his whole house for you, he gets every time a much bigger credit than someone who grew up like this. What's the proof? Lot and Abraham. Lot did 2 mitzvot in his life. One of them got him that the Mashiach comes from him. One. The other mitzvah was greater. He got nothing for it, almost nothing. What's the 2 mitzvot? When the angels came to him, nobody knew they're angels. In Sodom and Gomorrah, they wanted to rape the guest. The people of Sodom, they wanted to rape the guest. So Lot said, take my daughter, leave the guest alone. They said, no, we don't want your daughter, we want them. He said, okay, take me. Who would give his life for an anonymous guest that just showed up? Take me. He said, no, we're not interested in you, we want the guest. Then they didn't know the guests are angels, so the angels blinded them with some mirrors, and they all got blinded, and then they took them out of Sodom, and they destroyed Sodom. That's one story in the life of Lot. One more time, Lot did a mitzvah. Lot heard that Avraham Avinu, Hashem told him, Lech Lecha, leave the place. So he knew that if Avraham is a billionaire, he's a very wealthy person, he has a lot of wealth. So Avraham doesn't have kids. I'm his nephew. I'm the one who will get all his inheritance. So the only way that I can get what Avraham would leave one day when he dies is by being next to him. There's no search engines, check where is Avraham, or the lawyer will give me a call. No. So Lot has to be attached to Avraham. So Lot follow Avraham Avinu just for the day that he will die. He's hoping when my uncle's gonna die that I'm gonna be a millionaire, a billionaire, right? So when they came to Mitzrayim, Avraham and Sarah, they came to Mitzrayim, and Lot. So Paro asked him, who is this woman? So he said, she's my sister. But she was his wife. So Lot was standing there. So Lot wanted to say, hey, uncle, she's your wife, you made a mistake. Why? Like this, they'll kill Avraham, because over there they won't touch a married woman. Not like today, people make sins with married women. Even these murderers in Egypt, married women, they don't touch. So they want Sarah, because she's one of the most beautiful women ever lived. So they'll have to kill Avraham. They'll kill Avraham. I'll get all the wealth. Beautiful example. Right now. I can become a billionaire right now. So he was silent. Chazal say he was dying to say, but he kept his mouth shut. And thanks to that, the Mashiach will come from him. To 1 second that he was silent. So Chazal asked, how can it be? He gave his life for his guest. He protected the guest with the life of himself and his wife, on his daughter. And he got nothing for it. And now 1 minute he was silent and Mashiach comes from him? What's the comparison? So the answer is, he grew up in the house of Avraham Avinu. All day was serving strangers. Come, eat for free. Everyone, his house open, tons of food. Everyone comes, eat by him for free. He didn't know other way. He would die for the guest. Because he grew up like this. but he was a greedy person that loved wealth. The Torah describes it. And now he had an opportunity that his uncle will get killed and he take all his millions, and he did not talk. That was a test. And for that he got it. So what I'm saying to you is, what we are used to do, because we saw it in our house, we hardly get credit for it. We get, but hardly. But when a person has something that is difficult for him, that's where he gets most of the credit. One hard mitzvah can be like thousands of easy ones. Thousands of easy ones.
Like mitzvah. Like mitzvah. Not like this.
Not like
That was also a good mitzvah. Yeah. Any more questions? Any more? Yes.
I think you misunderstood my question before.
Yeah.
I was always taught throughout my yeshiva education that you have to take the secular studies that you learn, the science, the math, the history, everything that you learn, you have to take it, you have to bring it into this world, and you have to make it spiritual. And that's how you get closer to Hashem. There are obviously the mitzvot, obviously the mitzvot, the Torah, whatever, everything that you do, you're supposed to build your relationship with Hashem. But I also learned that, like for me, like I'm a college student. So I took biology this semester. I took different classes this semester, and I personally, for myself, I can't speak for other people, but for myself, like I do feel closer to God because I took those classes. Like I brought it and it's become something spiritual.
It's no contradiction between what you say and what I say at all. I didn't say that it's a sin to learn science or math or medicine or anything that make you closer to Hashem. The Rambam say, you see the beautiful of the creation, you fall in love with Hashem. I just said that thinking that if a person have a degree and he goes to college and that's going to bring him parnasah, that's a mistake. Learning on your free time, we have things, we also learn general studies. Who's to say that I have to go to Columbia University and learn science? Today you have everything for free. You have books, you have in Google, you can search anything you want. You can read in the encyclopedia. There's so much you can learn. The big rabbis used to learn in a bathroom math, medicine, astronomy, things that you're not allowed to learn in a bathroom, Torah, because it's a holy thing. So every secular study they used to learn in a bathroom. The Gaon Mivilna, the 10 minutes a day I was spending in the bathroom, he learned so many secular studies. Or in general, why? He didn't want to waste his valuable time on secular studies. Now remember, if a person learns Torah, in the Torah you have science, you have everything. Person doesn't learn Torah, and the only way he will get close to Hashem is by learning secular studies, as long as it's not kfirah, like evolution and all this nonsense. So then let it be. If you cannot learn Torah for whatever reason, then you can only learn secular study, and that's the only way to feel close to Hashem. Let it be. But who say he has to be in college? We're not contradicting each other. Okay.
And also, sorry, one more question. Just you said before that people who don't work, like let's say people who don't work, they earn a living. What about making an effort? Like, aren't you supposed to make an effort?
Yes. Yes. The rule is very simple. A person has to make some kind of an effort. How big is the effort is depend on his emunah. A person that has a very high level of emunah has to make very little effort. Person who does not have emunah has to make much bigger efforts. Now, if a person who doesn't have emunah would make very little effort, he won't have what to eat. He will need charity. Why? Because he's faker. If he's really have emunah in Hashem, Hashem provides for him. Lam yachalim lechasdo. If a person is just lazy, Moshe, why are you not going to work? Anyway, Hashem is feeding the whole world. Why should I go to work? But he doesn't trust Hashem. If somebody owe him $100, he's ready to go kill him. He doesn't have emunah in Hashem. Even when he prays, he doesn't think about one word. Or when he has a problem, he doesn't cry to Hashem. It shows that he doesn't have emunah. All right, he cheats in a business, he lies, he does all kinds of things. It shows that he doesn't have emunah. So somebody who doesn't have emunah has to make a lot of efforts, because Hashem will supply a person help based on his spiritual level. If a person is in a very high, the big rabbis, they never had to work. They learn all their life Torah, and sometimes in their life they were poor, sometimes they were rich, sometimes they became millionaires. It's what they know that whatever Hashem wants, that's what's going to be. So they don't have to. They make 1 hour a month efforts, it's enough. You can make 4 phone calls to people, this, that, that's it. You don't need to do more than that. That's a curse. Nobody told you to. No,
This is the world.
It's a conditional curse.
We're not in the next world.
It's a conditional curse. If there is a curse and a person can avoid that curse, of course he's allowed to avoid this
But
curse.
we are in the physical world.
Yeah, fine. But Hashem said, after the sin of Adam, the general rule is people will have to put lots of hard work to make their living. But if a person can escape that by elevating his fate, he has an obligation to do it. You understand?
We become slave in Egypt.
You know what you say?
And
is
we become cherut only when Hashem decided and He heard our shavatenu. But we are slave in Egypt.
So
We didn't have any choice. We had to be slaves.
there
in
was a
Egypt.
decree.
We had pressure.
There was a decree in Egypt to be slaves. There was a punishment.
We are not a decree now.
No, because now you have ways out of it. You have ways out of this slavery. Remember,
But if you have to bring the parnassah home, what are you going to do?
elevate your emunah and the parnassah will come
I'm
easier.
working on it every day, but
You'll see that the
you do not have to go to work.
Every day there's hundreds of tests in emunah. When you prove to Hashem that you trust Him 100%, everything will come to you. Everything, 100%. Guarantee.
I shouldn't have bitachon.
Yeah, of course. It's all about bitachon. Everything is about bitachon. Everything. Would you get on a cab knowing the ride cost you $100 and you have only $50 in your pocket? You have $50 in your pocket. You get on a cab. You say, how much is this from here to Manhattan? It tells you $100. Would you get on a cab knowing by the time he gets to Manhattan you're short? Right? Because you don't have emunah in Hashem. There are people in this generation living now that have no doubt that by the time they get to Manhattan, Hashem will get them the extra 50. Wow. And they'll have miracles like this every day. And one of them, I heard a story about him and I didn't believe.
I'm cheating the driver.
No, one of them I did not I heard a story about one rabbi in Yerushalayim like this, that every day he lives like this, and I didn't believe. I admit, I did not believe. Until one time Hashem directed me to meet a guy who introduced the son of that rabbi to me, and we all sat together in a car about a business manner. And after we finished the business manner, I said to the guy, I have one story to clarify by you. Someone told me that this is what your father did. He had to go from his house to the Western world. It's 15 shekel for a cab, and there was only 10 shekel on the shelf. And he took the 10 shekel and got on a cab. This person who went with him is one of the students. He told me the story. And then he asked the driver, how much is the cab? How much is the ride? The driver said 15 shekel. And he had only 10 shekel in his pocket. And they got into the cab. And then after 5 minutes, the driver turned around and said, do you mind if I take another passenger? So they say no, because there's shortage in cabs. They say, okay. So he asked him, where you want to go? He said, to the kotel. He said, okay, come in. He went in the front seat. They both sit in the back seat. And he said, okay, since I took another passenger, both of you 10 shekel each. Wow. You understand? So I told him, tell me if this story is true. So he smiled. He said, stories like this happen 6-7 times every day by my father. Like he was surprised that I'm surprised. Like look at me like, oh, my father lived with 100% emunah. Nah, he doesn't know what does it mean to be worried about parnassah. Someone owe him money, he'll never call. He'll never call for money. Never call. So I tell you a story. You know what? I'll tell you a story now with a rabbi in Great Neck. Rabbi in Great Neck. Well, I'll tell you a story. Many years ago, someone stole a lot of money from me. That day, Rabbi Aderet still used to live in Monsey full time. I came to him and I said to him, Rabbi, I have the paper, I have all these things. What should I do? I want to take this person to Beit Din. So Beit Din is a Jewish court. So he told me, don't do it. I said, why? I'll let him go away with the money. It's a lot of money. So he said, Beit Din, it's for ktanei emunah, for people who don't trust Hashem. People who trust Hashem don't need Beit Din. So I said, I'm not the type to get an answer and be quiet about it if I'm not convinced. So I say to him, what do you mean? Half of the Torah, it's the laws of money and court, arguments in court, Gemara, Baba Kama, Baba Batra, Baba Metzia. So half of the Gemara is someone owe money to another one, witnesses, this, how, when. Half of the Torah it's about money. What do you mean Beit Din is only for people who don't have emunah? So he said, the Beit Din, we say like this, Beit Din is, the Torah gave the answer to all level of Jews. From the highest level of emunah to a person who has no emunah at all. The Torah has to address this kind of people also. So the Torah says a person doesn't have emunah. What's the solution? He take a gun and kill another person because he owes money? No. He'll go to Beit Din and hopefully they'll find justice over there. But the Torah didn't mean that everyone has to run to Beit Din. Because remember, if you deserve this money, Hashem must send you this money. No one can take what's yours. No one. And if you don't deserve this money, you can win in Beit Din. Yeah. You make your point, you have the document, everything fine. They'll force him to pay you. And Hashem didn't want you to have the money, He'll take the money from you in a different way. So what's the point? You trust Hashem that He's mefarnes? I say yes. So forget about Beit Din. Then he told me another story. I don't know if I can say it in front of the camera, but he signed for somebody for a lot of money, and that person didn't pay, and he went and paid it, and he did not run after this person one time to pay him for the money. So I signed a cosign. This person owed me a lot of money. He knows what he owed me. What's the point? And never say one bad word about that person. And that was a lot of money. Why? If you have emunah, it has to be real, not fake like most people, only for the show. But when it comes to reality, for $100 he dies. I had a case with a woman here, I'm not telling you her name. She called me up, she said, I know you're coming tonight to give a lecture in Great Neck. Can I meet you a few minutes before the lecture? I said, what is it about? She said, I want to talk to you about my kids. I said, okay, where do you want to meet? She said, I don't want in front of the shul. I don't want people to see that I'm talking to you. Maybe by the parking of the bank. Where is it? This corner. I said, okay, parking in the bank. No, I go there. I see that she came with her car. So now, and then she said, I want to give donation for the CDs. Well, it cost me $1 to make each one. So she said, I want to make a donation for the CDs. I love the CDs. I said, no problem. So she asked me the question about her kids, whatever. I told her what to do, fine. Now, she said, okay, do you mind if I'm going to give $52 for the CDs? I said, very nice, thank you very much. We spoke another minute or two. She said, okay, I think that this time I'm going to give 36, if you don't mind. I said, no problem. Then, by the end of the conversation, she wrote $18 check. You understand? And this is a wealthy person. A wealthy person. Now, we're not talking about an Israeli kid who came from the army 2 weeks ago and he's looking for a job here and he had $500 that his father gave him. They give more money. These kids. I'm talking someone wealthy. Lives in a house that worth millions of dollars and the rest of the story. What do you see? Person like this die one day. And he thinks he's religious. He comes in front of Hashem. Hashem says, you didn't trust me a bit even, ma. I wanted my kids to return to me, to become Shomer Shabbat, to save them. You had an opportunity, instead of giving $500,000 check, you give a check for $18. You have to make 500,000 CD. Every rich person has an opportunity to make CDs and give it to secular people and doesn't do it, will never forgive himself when he comes in front of Hashem. Never.
But why to offer more and then give less? It's not nice either.
No, because her heart wasn't letting her. She felt an obligation to me that I agreed to meet her and give her advice on her children. She didn't want to give donation. Wow. She felt an obligation because it was embarrassing. She kept me 20 minutes and asking me a lot of questions. So she felt an obligation. But once she got all her answers, her Yetzer Hara, her evil inclination, was becoming stronger and stronger because she doesn't need me anymore. In the beginning, she said, I'm going to give 52. She thought it's a big amount. Okay, then in the middle of the conversation, it went down to 36 because half of my answers I got already. By the end, well, she said she's going to give, so she gave 18. You understand how the Yetzer Hara works? That's how it is. I'll tell you how it is. A person has a business meeting, millions of dollar business meeting, and he's late. He arrived to the place 9:00 a.m., and the meeting's supposed to start. He's looking for parking. It's very hard to find parking. He said, Hashem, I promise you, if you find me parking, from now on, I will never miss one day of tefillin in my whole life. A second later, someone comes out, and he found the parking. He said, it's okay, Hashem, I managed on my own. I managed. That's how we are. Crying, Hashem, Hashem. A person has the doctor say, I need to send you to an MRI. Why? I see something that I don't like. What happened to the person that moment? In 1 second he becomes Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. He comes out of the doctor's office, he sits in the car, Hashem, I promise you, from now on, tzniut, no more wig, no more this. He already accepting 500 things. No more this, I'm going to give a lot of tzedakah, I promise you, I'm going to move my kids from public school, everything. And he means it. Then after a week, the doctor say, okay, the MRI came, Baruch Hashem, negative, everything is fine. No tzedakah, now she gets a double longer wig. Everything was forgotten. Hashem did the miracle thanks to the neder, and once the miracle happened, we forgot. Why? No emunah, no loyalty. Bezrat Hashem. First of all, thank you very much for allowing me to speak here. Sorry that I cut you off with the interference. Based on my experience, if you allow the audience to take control, the lecture is over. If I wouldn't film it, I wouldn't mind. The problem is I'm posting it on the website, and if there is a lot of noise, then the people write to me hundreds of complaints. So I want to save myself a lot of headaches. So I try to keep the lecture quiet and give time for our questions in the end. I hope I answer all your questions. If not, on every one of the CD you have my telephone number, my personal email. You have business cards here. And you can ask me, you can email any question you want. Anyone who wants now or in the future to sponsor CDs, big mitzvah. You know other wealthy people who has money and they want to earn billions of mitzvot every year, that's the right investment. Why? We give hundreds of them every day, hundreds of them, thousands every month, many thousands, Baruch Hashem, and more and more Jews becoming Shomer Shabbat thanks to the CDs alone. Just the CDs. There are people who became fully religious without being one time in their life in a live lecture. Denver, places that there's not even one Orthodox rabbi in the entire town. But they're already fully Shomer Shabbat, fully Shomer, modesty, everything, kosher, everything. Why? Just from the CDs alone. And then later they go into the website. Every day they'll learn another lecture. And even Goyim that convert to become Jews. Many, many Goyim, hard to believe. Can ask Rabbi Ben Chaim how many Goyim I send him to get to convert over the years. And this is after avoiding 95% of the ones who are begging to convert. That we're not sure 100% that they're going to be serious. Why? That's the power of the CDs. And to save a soul, every mitzvah they ever do, you will earn the mitzvot for eternity. You can be in heaven already 1,000 years. Every year Hashem pays you for this mitzvot more and more for the children, grandchildren of this Baalei Tshuva. That's the best investment. Thank you very much again. Kol Tov.